good to go. Alrighty, let's see, make sure that's recording. All right. Welcome to the first ever virtual armor party of 2021. Today is January 23rd, 2021. We will be recording this armor party for those of us who couldn't join us this evening. Tonight's armor party will be a little bit different. Please post any questions into the chat, and the moderator, Hanu Yoa, that's me, will read it to the group in the order that they were received. Just last time it got a little hectic, so we wanted to give it a little bit of an order. So there is a chat down below. You just post your question in there, and I will read it to the group, and then the folks will answer the questions that way. Otherwise, just talk amongst yourselves. Have fun. And that's all for my intro.
Hey, Han, can I say one thing?
Sure.
Jeff, Han, congratulations to you both.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. We've started work on a lot of different ideas and taken some of the stuff that we've worked on in the past as far as, because there's a lot of good ideas that have been had and have been executed, but we want to continue that and go next step and have the progression of the clan, improve constantly. One of the things I did was everybody that was an official member and was on the forums under builds, I sent out, messages to everybody. Hey, this is who I am. This is some of the things that we got going on. So if anybody has any questions and they haven't seen that yet, go onto your forum account and it'll be kind of a brief overview of who I am and some of the things that we're looking at doing. So,
hi, Christy.
Hey, Han.
Hi, Christy.
Hi, guys.
hey, Chrissy.
Hello.
Good to see you, Chrissy.
You too.
All right, I'll just go ahead and reiterate as we get some more new people in here. If you have any questions, please post them into the chat, and then I will read them to the group and we'll answer them accordingly. Just trying to. If we don't have any, though, that's totally fine.
Yeah, we can talk. It's a little early. Some people are probably coming back to work still.
Wait,
So.
Actually, I do have a question. I kind of feel a little bit out of place. Is the chat right, like the video chat right now, just for official members?
No.
Not at all.
No, dude.
Not at all.
If it was, I wouldn't be.
In fact, we would rather have more recruits in there.
Yeah, it just
Is
so
it for
happens
you?
everybody here is that. Another thing that I wanted to set down and talk about is if we have any background noise, if you're having conversations with somebody else, just feel free to mute yourself and then unmute yourself when you come back. That way there's not a lot of stuff clogging up the...
All right, well, hold on. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Are you getting feedback from me, Han?
No. It's just some more ground rules.
I got you.
That's actually a really... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
All right, good.
No, by all means, Austin, speak.
Huh? I was talking to my girlfriend. Sorry.
No. Yeah. So I was going to say we were talking beforehand where with the leather working. Tell us a little bit of what you got going on there, my friend.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know if you can see it. So I made this Mandalorian style notebook.
Oh, that's badass.
And
That's really cool.
the latch is in the back and everything. So I did leather work for a while, and then it became a real pain in the ass to, I don't know, just to file taxes and to get people to pay and some crap. So this one is one that I was working on. I was pretty happy with.
That looks great.
Thanks.
Very nice.
And then
I kind of get Viking vibes from it.
Yeah, I did the whole, like, I really wanted it to be used, and then this was actually the first one that I had knocked out. So it's got an interesting latch here, and it opens up, and kind of like all the notebooks that I made, back in the day, very easy to replace the notebook. And I used to kind of, some people would say, oh, you should have, handmade paper. No one ever writes. No one ever, you get this great notebook or this great leather bound book or sketchbook or whatever. You just, nothing, your thoughts aren't good enough. You know what I mean? So all my stuff is like, it's easy to replace, you know, it's Walmart or dollar store, notebooks and things like that. So I was really inspired, and you know, I'm super excited. Now, Austin, I am not an official member. I'm a recruit like yourself. And I'm jazzed to be here, because if I had known, well, honestly, like I was saying before, if I had known that PVC was so easy to work with,
Yeah.
holy crap, I would have done this years ago. I checked into this. I checked into the Mandalorian Mercs like in 2009 or something, like a while back.
Whoa.
I looked at all the schematics and all the different things. I'm like, man, this is too much work. You
I've been on
know?
the forums and stuff since I think about like right about the beginning of 2017, but I didn't find the group or my own clan until about like midsummer 2018.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking at all the stuff, and I'm like, I really got to get some help with this stuff, because I'm kind of slow at learning new stuff, you know. So I kind of need like help. But I'm glad that I found people that are actually able to like explain to me how to do this stuff.
Yeah, and that's kind of what this is about. You know, it's I had never built anything like this when I first started, and I was looking for a hobby, and I was looking at stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you know, there's the 501st, there's the Rebel Legion, you know, what do I want to do? And the Stormtroopers and the Rebel Legion are cool, and that's their own niche, but you're very, you know, a Stormtrooper is a Stormtrooper is a Stormtrooper. With the
Yeah.
Mercs, you have the basic, your armor templates for your different eras, but it's basically your imagination, the sky's the limit. And that's, with this deal, a bonus, because we built it. I think Han's on, what are you, your second or third kit, Han?
Third.
I know Dan's building his second kit. I'm making another kit. I mean, we're, you know, even though you make a kit and you're approved as an official member and all that, it never really stops, because you're always making upgrades. You're always, oh man, let me try this. Let me add to this and see how it looks. Or, you know, I've got this era, so now I want to do the next era and have different eras of kits. And it's the Sentra, with the works on the Sentra, it makes it really, really easy.
Well, it's such a pure form of
Yeah.
self-expression too, because you get to have, you know, like when I first built my armor, the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to be a beast hunter. But now that I'm into it a little bit longer, I've now discovered, hey, maybe I want to do an armorer. And then I got about 90% done with that. And then I was like, you know what, I'd actually like to be a medic. So I'm building a medic kit now. So I'm on my third kit, and I would be lying if I said I wasn't eyeballing a fourth already, but I'm going to hang in there. I did want to say hi, Miguel.
Hi, Miguel.
I saw you
Hey,
pop
Miguel.
in.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate what we were saying earlier, Austin. This is not just for OMs. This actually is purposefully more towards the UM. We are here to help you get your kit started, and that's what the armor party is all about.
All right.
So yes, we want you here.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is actually what it's for. Armor parties are not only for us to get together and see each other's faces and goof around and you know, tell our jokes, but it's ultimately we are here to help unofficial members get official. And so if you have any questions or if you need any resources or anything, just let us know and we can get you in touch with either somebody who has it already or knows how to get it done. I did create a Google Doc with a bunch of things to get started, including some templates and some patterns. So if anybody has any questions about that, I do have some very basic information here, just that sort of stuff. So if at any time you'd like a copy of that, I can email it to you. And it's all just forum links mostly, but it will
Yeah.
get you directly to where you need to go. Just shoot me a PM here if you need it. And I'll be making it available to on the YouTube information. So if anybody's watching later on, they'll be able to get that doc as well.
Do we want to do something like that on Facebook as well?
Well, it'll be linked on the Facebook.
Okay, cool.
And I just have one quick comment that I want to make about those, about that leather work. That actually looks like you ought to have that. Those actually look like they ought to be covers for the Bounty Hunter's Handbook.
Yeah.
Thank
the
you.
skins of the people you've caught before.
Yeah, I didn't want to go there because of things, you know,
gory.
but
I think that
yeah.
falls into that gore clause.
Yeah, that's what I
And
was
that's
just
why
saying. Gory.
it's just like it's leather, nobody cares, it's fine.
Right.
But like some dude posted about having like an Ewok cape on the builders group, and I was like, dude, I
Oh,
didn't say
that's
anything.
not
But I'm
gonna
like,
be
and then I'm
good.
like,
Well, I'll be
how
honest.
proud
think
are you to
my-
have an Ewok cape?
My
you know?
my pouches on my Beast Hunter are technically Ewok fur, so
Yeah, and I will say that we're pushing the envelope with the Wookiee braids as well.
yeah.
Yeah, the
I-
Wookiee braids. I've wondered about that because I know that the origin of that is not pleasant. So
No.
you know, but
Well, we got an approved
trophies
and I
are
also-
cool.
And I also want to say that Matthew's looking more like a space wizard than any of us. I love the hood you're wearing.
Well, I can't grow a beard, but I would try if I could.
I'll trade you. I wish I had my hair back. So I had long hair. I
wish I
look,
didn't cut my hair.
Do I hear a
I'm 21, I look like
compromise?
I'm 40.
What?
I was like, Saul's got the longest hair out of all of us here right now, I think.
is beautiful. Is beautiful.
Before I got a
luscious.
haircut,
Thank
my hair
you.
was about that long.
His glorious mane.
No.
Ah,
Now, Chrissy is an official member, Austin and Matthew, but she's working on her brigade kit. So that's what we always encourage is to get your kit, just a basic kit together so you can become an official member. And then you've got all the time in the world to work on making it a brigade or better.
Well, I was going to
Yeah,
say
I was-
also there is no pressure in becoming a brigade. You don't have to be brigades unless you really want to. There's many members who never join a brigade, and it's not something you have to do. A lot of us like to do that though because it gives Armando a job, but by no means do you have to get one. It's just a lot of fun to just do those upgrades and that sort of stuff. But it's not something you absolutely have to do.
I'm
For
sorry,
sure.
but Force
my,
Hunter just sounds really cool, though. I want to do one of those eventually.
Which one?
Force Hunters.
Oh
Force
yeah,
Hunter.
that's
Oh,
a cool.
I wish
something
Shy
there.
was here. Shy is a forest hunter, and he could
And
probably
all
give
I
us
need is
the
my
whole.
pictures.
I was kind
I
of
don't need to-
looking at the Beastmaster one.
I am a beastmaster, so
Yeah.
I would recommend. Very fun. You get lots of fur, lots of knives, lots of. It's fun.
All the Pokédex.
Teeth and bones and
Yeah,
It's
I'm
fun.
just a
I
little-
don't know if I asked it last time or not, but what kind of like melee weapons are acceptable? Because, like I said, I was thinking about doing like an axe or like a vibro axe or something like that. But then I saw the pictures of your kit where it had like I forgot what it was, like a halberd or something.
I
like
have
that.
a very long throwing spear that's similar to a Chinese weapon where it's a sword on the end of a long stick. And it's just basically a vibro version of that. But as far as weapons go, as long as they are Swarzy in some way, that they've been updated to look Star Warsy, you're usually okay to have them. Obviously, if you're gonna make it off of a base of something, you're gonna want to like a nerf of some sort. You are going to want to, just make sure it doesn't look like a nerf anymore, and you can usually do that by adding Sintra or PVC pipe or something, or sanding it down, that sort of
or
stuff.
cutting off parts that look too nerfy.
Exactly. Never
Yeah.
underestimate
Apple.
sandpaper.
Yeah.
Never underestimate. No.
No, never.
And also, so the new Mando rifle that's come out with Nerf is not considered canon for a Mando.
It
Used
lets
by
you,
the
it lets you
kids,
do the holiday.
unless you alter it and lengthen it. I think it's about 50 inches long, and it needs to be about 70 inches long.
Well, they were making a possible look at the CRL of if you have the holiday edition boba, they may allow it because in the cartoon it's shorter than in the live version.
That is correct.
But you would have to be that specific character. That's the thing.
That is
so.
correct. That you would have to be playing the canon holiday cartoon Boba Fett to be able to use that weapon as it's
Yeah.
pretty much.
after the
think
slight
I know, like-
modifications of the.
Ooh, that felt good.
I think
Oh,
I know
Lord.
maybe like 2 people who have that kit, but it's really, really cool looking.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Right.
guys, I got to run back to work. So I will watch the rest of this at the YouTube channel. Guys, y'all have a great evening. It was wonderful to be able to talk to you for a few minutes.
All right, Willis, have a good
Love you.
night.
Yeah.
Nice seeing
very
you
much.
Good night,
again.
Willis.
It's good to see you.
I tried
So-
wiping. I went to wipe my leg off, and I ended up busting my knuckles on this pole.
Mm, ouch.
That's always fun.
So
I'm tickled.
I mentioned to somebody, and I can't remember. I know I got talking to Miguel about it, but I had made this. I don't know if I have the light for this. Hold on.
Yeah,
My-
you and I
My
talked about that
dagger.
as well.
Yeah,
I thought
right.
it was a monkey paw at first.
Yeah, with the
Um,
Minoc teeth.
With the Minoc teeth and everything. It was so this actually for Austin, real quick. The teeth on this I did just with the PVC or the Sintra, and then the rest was plumbing. What do I want to call it?
Buddy,
Plumber's putty that hardens like steel. You know
Ah.
that stuff? That's the gray stuff.
Yep.
my dad's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
plumber
yeah.
by trade, so he might be able to help me out with the.
There you go.
the
It's
PVC pipe and the putty and stuff.
but I'm used to doing like RPG little D&D miniatures and stuff like that. So painting this was dead easy, and it's just a trip.
I've been
But
trying to play D&D.
Me too.
well, working with this PVC has been a dream compared to some of the other stuff I've worked with. So I don't know how to
Miguel-
encourage anybody. I'm an art teacher. I'm a high school art teacher, so
Oh,
I'm
that's
all
cool.
about telling people like I just like making stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And this has been a trip. Like like I said, if I had known that this plastic existed, phew,
Well, I'm going to make you feel a little better, Matthew. The factory that makes it in Ocala, I got a direct line to it. I can buy as much of it as I want,
Yours?
and they have an account for us. So
awesome.
I think a 24 by 48 inch sheet is like 18 or $20, and you can get like 2 or 3 kits out. Yeah.
Why did I picture?
Guys,
why do I
I-
picture like 10 sheets of it in his art class?
I
Hey.
want to ask y'all something. It's like kind of off topic, but to get to know y'all a little better, what kind of tattoos do y'all have, if any?
Well, hang on, Austin. I am going to interrupt you just for a second because I want to welcome Emily to the armor party. Hey, guys. I also wanted to let you know, since you're new, you just came in, I wanted to let you know that if you have any questions about building armor or any questions at all, just post it in the chat and I will read it off to the group and we'll make sure that they get answered. Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
All
I
right.
definitely have a question.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Well, then feel free to just shoot it over there and we'll go ahead and get it answered as soon as we
I'm
can.
not sure I know how to type on here.
It's okay.
You know? Okay.
Are you on the, let's see, are you
At
using
the
the desktop?
bottom,
You
I
figure it
think at the
out.
bottom, you're going to see an area that says
Yeah, it
chat.
should say chat down there at the bottom. So just go ahead and
Just
hit it in
says
there.
chat. You click on that and it opens up a chat page. Hey, Miguel.
Miguel looks like he's from a 1990s rap album right now. All black and white.
Surprising.
Yep.
All right. So my question
good.
is, to get to know y'all a little more, like personality and stuff. What kind of tattoos do you have, if any?
I have 0.
I lost count after 23. I don't know. I got a lot. All my Star Wars ones are on my legs.
It's time for yoga, Han.
Oh God.
I have 2, but I got one on my forearm that I freaking love.
Oh, here, I'll show you my Yoda quote. It says, "The greatest teacher failure is don't be afraid to make mistakes." All right. So Emily does have an actual question. She said her flak vest and her chest armor does not sit flat. Now, when you say sit flat, do you mean it doesn't conform to your body?
It kind of bunches up. It doesn't look like how it's supposed to
Like
be.
one of her chest plates will be sitting right, and the
Mhm.
other one will be like either up or down. I think it's because she has boobs. But
That does happen. I'm sorry to say.
Mhm.
Sorry.
one of them never sits perfectly centered like the other one does.
Did you do darting with your plates, or are you working on?
Our armor is cut out of trash can. So
Okay.
I can show you.
Yeah, she's got hers out.
Yeah, let's see it.
I can try to.
Sorry to interrupt, but my phone dies really quick, so I gotta go put it on charge. But I'll join back later.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Bye, Austin.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see.
So this is my armor. It's on there with magnets right now.
Okay.
And underneath is duck cloth, but then like this kind of fake leather material on
Okay.
top. So everything seems to like keep its shape pretty well, but it kind of goes crooked, if you can see here.
Hey, I'm gonna.
You gonna what, Dan?
He's gonna pause
I
dramatically.
guess so. All right. Hey, Tito. Do any of
Hey,
our
Tito.
Russelers have any advice for Emily's problem
I'm
with
sorry,
her
I
kid?
froze there for a
It's a-
second, so I didn't hear anything that was said.
It's okay. I think it would be possibly that you have you don't have darting in your plates. Now, when you say it's sticking out, where is it sticking out on the armor? Is it down near the
It's mostly
points?
just the two chest pieces. They kind of go crooked.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like inward?
this
Or-
one will shift up and
Yeah.
kind of like come out towards the center. The bottom half will,
Mhm.
or it'll just completely move up. And it's weird because she has pouches in here with the magnets in it that are sewn into the vest.
I love the magnet idea. I do personally use Velcro for mine, and I feel like it doesn't let it move as much. Once I place it somewhere, it doesn't go anywhere. I don't know how strong your magnets are without touching it, but you may want to think about either trying a stronger magnet or maybe changing to Velcro, because
Yeah, I would-
Velcro is
Or both.
it's not going to move if you put it on Velcro.
Yeah. Because it seems like they slide with the magnets.
Yeah,
It
I
may be
love
tracking
it,
up the
but
magnet.
Either that or like how it is right now. This is actually connected to another magnet.
Yeah.
So it'll-
yeah. See, that part I don't think you'd have much of a problem. You could maybe keep some of those magnets, but for the chest plates itself, just speaking from personal experience, the girls move things around, and
Yeah.
it might just be better to
Yeah, like
just
my
kinda-
cape is Velcroed on. So.
yeah. And you know, if you, what are your plates made out of? Are they? You said they're made out of plastic.
Yep, like trash can.
So
Here.
on the plastic side of the armor, you can use the peel and stick Velcro. On
Okay.
the fabric side, where your flak vest is, you're going to want to sew it on.
Okay.
But that'll give you it shouldn't move as much, and it should give you a little bit more
Okay.
freedom to
Nice.
not.
All right.
Yeah, and if it is moving, then you may have to go ahead, like Ann is saying, and there's actually like a darting that we can show you how to do.
Yeah.
And you basically you're cutting wedges in it to fit around your anatomy.
I'm
so
gonna
that it fits
go
better.
ahead and send the female dart tutorial link that I have to the group chat or to the chat, and I'll send it directly to you, Emily, and that way you can
Alright.
take a peek at what we're talking about when we say darts. You don't have to use this specific pattern, but it'll kind of give you an idea about what we mean by cutting little pieces and kind of forms it around your body a little bit. Hi, Tito. I saw you coming on in. Hey. And
I'm a little late.
Christina?
You know, long time no see, brother.
Exactly.
It's been a while.
Does that answer your question, Emily? Do you have
Yeah, I
any
think
more?
so.
Okay.
I'll try to fandangle it a bit.
You're totally fine. And you can even check that out later if you need to. But I know I personally, except for this newest kit, my two kits, not my third, my two kits, they both used darting. One with a 3mm Sintra, which was not as easy, I'll be honest, and the 6mm, which was much more forgiving. So now I'm using 3D printed plates. So a little bit of a workaround, but they're a little bit easier with that.
Hey, Dan's
So
actually live now.
Yeah, Dan's back. So for the people who just joined in, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, just talking over and over again. But if you have any questions for the chat, please feel free, or for the group rather, place the question in the chat, and then I will read it off, and we'll make sure that the question gets answered.
I do want to congratulate you two on your positions.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much, Tito.
Apologize, I was in a dead zone but I just got home, so I jumped on my laptop. So now I can
Alright.
see and hear you guys.
Yeah, it's a
Hey,
lot
Tom,
for the official.
I don't know if anyone has a question right now, but I do have one.
Did you ask it in the chat, Tito?
Well, I'm on my phone, Han, so I can either look at you or I can.
I'm being a snot. Sorry. What is your question, Tito?
All right. I know for pilots, so you're allowed to use chest boxes
Uh-huh.
instead of having the diamond, but I'm going for Hazops Brigade. So I was wondering if something like this would be acceptable for my centerpiece.
Could you bring it a little closer? Because I can't see a dang thing. Oh, that reminds me a little bit of a tie chest box.
Yeah, it's from a Demon Dog. It's like a pilot. It's like a pilot chest box, but eventually what I want to do is have like a small hose connect from here to my
Like a breather?
bucket.
And I can tell you, you have to. Okay, so you're trying to attack two things at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my suggestion.
Okay. I'm all ears.
Is you need to first get reapproved with your current kit on the specs.
Okay. So
and then talk to a brigade marshal and explain to him or her what you want to do, because we're not going to be able to give you an answer on something that has to do with brigades.
Unless it's a brigade we're in, unfortunately.
Right. And even then, nobody here is, brigade marshal. So it's hard to tell you, yeah, that's going to work, because I'll be lying if it is or not. I really couldn't tell you. You basically just, I could only tell you is get back to official status.
Okay.
And then discuss that with the brigade marshal. That's my advice. I mean, I wish I could give you better information, but there isn't none to really give you.
So go with the Iron Heart then for the time being, and then
Absolutely,
swap it out.
You should always. I mean, I you know this, and I tell all the new people that always follow the CRLs.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you have the minimum requirements that is needed to get official before you start thinking about, add-ons. Tito's a different case because he's already been an official member. But that's my advice. And like I said, I wish I could help you with that brigade question, Tito, but I don't think anybody here is qualified to do so.
And I would like to plug for the brigade marshals, because they were absolutely invaluable for me when I was going for Beast Hunter. So they are great. They'll help you out.
Refresh screen so you can all hear it. Okay.
Follow-up question, I guess, would be because if I do with the Iron Hearts, I was wondering if I can do this as like an attachment. It's gonna go like towards this side.
I don't think any of us can see what that is. I'm sorry, Tito.
Screen just somebody who you have just attacked was out of your
it's like a little like a you know how like a sort of like a little environmental reader sort of thing.
Again, that falls under
brigade.
Anything that you're attaching to your armor, you are giving us the leeway to use that against you when you try to react. So no,
just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it as simple as possible. And then, like I said, I'm telling you, the best thing to do is you're almost done. Just resubmit and then talk to the brigade marshal. Any attachments or anything that's out of the ordinary, it's always going to be judged at, we're already as it is, we're only trying to look for, if you have everything that you need to become official, and then we start looking through violations on the CRL. So keep it simple, Tito, please.
Yeah.
Got it.
Hi, James.
Hey. Hey, James.
Hey.
Are you playing with your monkey again?
Yes, I am. I will play with my monkey.
On Tito, I would say I like where your ideas are, but I would say, like Miguel said, keep it simple at first, and then once you're thumbs up, then hit the brigade marshal up for whatever it is that you're wanting to add on to your armor.
Which goes back to my original statement, which I was kind of reiterating, Miguel. Bare minimums, become official, then you can start looking at the other things and have all the time in the world to work towards it.
We know Tito's got the best grebes, so.
I thought Tito was already OM.
I have to resubmit because of all the changes I've done to my kit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sometimes
It's
you
like-
could go a little too far.
It's
Yeah,
like that,
no. That's
what's
why I was
the-
confused. I was like, whoa, wait, what?
It's like what's that, the Argonauts thing where it's like you have the boat and then you keep changing everything. Is it still the original boat?
That, and with all the changes to the CRLs lately, so a lot of
Yeah.
people have had to re-up based on those changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally had to trim down my bucket.
Right.
Trim your
Yeah.
bucket.
It wasn't because of the changes to CRLs, because they're really the only change that happened was the 2/3 visor requirement.
Mhm.
The stuff with Tito had nothing to do with CRO things. The stuff with Tito was he needed to just be in compliance, and that was, that's
Oh, okay.
something that he can easily fix.
Sure.
I had to
Absolutely,
cut down my visor up to here.
Yeah.
It used to be like
Oh, wow.
around here.
Right.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to Matthew too, when Miguel and I were talking to you about your monarch teeth, that they have to be a certain length. They go too far, it goes beyond that spike length that we're not allowed to have.
Yeah. I did have another question in the chat. Matthew did ask, what are the different brigades? So I went ahead and looked those up. And please pipe in if I forget anything, but I am looking at the official page. There are demolitions, pilots, urban assaults, droid hunter, heavy assault, heavy weapons, force hunter,
Beast hunter, beast tamer.
acquisition, infiltration operative, assassin, privateers, recon, sniper. There's a lot. Gunslinger, light melee. I'm going to go ahead and I believe I can send this link to you, Matthew, if you'd like to look at the different ones. I'll go ahead and just send this off to you and you can kind of look through what there are. So there you go.
Miguel, is it still available to UMs if they get auxiliary membership? Because I remember when I first started that you were able to get on to look at the brigades.
You could only see what the jobs are.
Yeah, you
Right.
can't see in full detail.
Can't see full detail, and I'm gonna tell you, Matthew, that's one of the things that every recruit gets hung up on.
Yeah.
Is that they wanna double dip in that pool, and you make it harder for us as a team when you try to do that, and then you come back and get a massive fix list, because it happens. It happens all the time.
Gotcha.
Like I told Tito, I'll tell you the same thing. Keep it as simple as possible. All you need to become official is chest armor, shoulders. Now, depending on the era, collar plate, cod plate, and knees and gauntlets. That's it.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes,
Matt, I can tell you that when I started, I actually was trying to go Beast Hunter right out the gate.
Yeah.
And it didn't, like Miguel kept telling me it's going to be too much. And Han was like, no, just trim it down, keep it simple. And after I started looking at all the individual things that I needed for Beast Hunter, plus trying to get OM, plus, and all that, I was like, I know, I mean, it's really overwhelming because
Absolutely. Let me stop you guys
Get
there.
in and then go up.
Yeah.
I couldn't even find the page that listed them. That's my only question.
Oh, I got okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
what I like is what I would have gone if I even known this dude existed was the Desert Boba Fett kind of I would go non-canon because then I'd have more freedom.
Right.
But just something simple like that. But like the forums are killing me. And apparently I'm too old to understand how, like I grew up with forums. I remember when they started, but I'll tell you what,
they're not the most organized thing in the world.
I'm really struggling. I'm really struggling. So I apologize.
It's on the slate of something we're going to attempt to try to get updated to some degree. We'll see
But how? How?
I'm just gonna leave it at
so
that.
much data, you know.
It is a lot. It is a lot. I do
Well,
have
you
another.
just organize the availability to find stuff easier. Is really what it is.
We've got some new members and some new people that popped up. Do you want to go over to
Yep,
the
we'll-
YouTube rules?
So basically what I was going to say is, since we have some new folks in here, what we're doing is, if you have any questions, please put them into the chat, and then I, the moderator, will read them out to the group and we will answer your question. And later on, we will be posting this to our Facebook or sorry, our YouTube channel, and then the link will be posted on our Facebook. If you have any background noise, just go ahead and put yourself on mute until it's over, and then feel free to join us again when it's all good. I did have a question though that I did want to read out. Christopher has a question about his helmet regarding the 2/3 rule. Could somebody explain the 2/3 rule?
Well,
Go ahead,
I have a
Christopher.
question about my helmet. So
Okay.
the 2/3 rule killed me. 'Cause
Oh, we
He
love
had
that
just bought it
executioner.
before that came out.
Oh
I'm
man.
so
Right
sorry.
before that rule came out.
Should I keep this how it is and just buy a basic Mando helmet?
Yeah.
Or can I take these teeth up and make them 3 rules and kind of say
No.
No.
to the system?
Because it's already matching
Make that
his armor.
make it as nice as you want it and put it up on your shelf.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, make it a beautiful trophy piece or a piece that you can wear with your kit when you're not doing official function stuff.
Okay. Yeah,
There
because
you go.
I wore it on Halloween.
Yeah,
But then
keep
it
it
was
as a
like,
piece of your kit.
You
just
can
can't
wear
use
it at
for a
cons.
It's
You can wear it at cons,
you
yeah,
can
for
wear it at
sure.
conventions,
okay.
but it can't. But just not official troops.
Okay.
I am.
Don't forget. Hold on. Before, if you wear it at a con,
Yeah,
and
you're right.
you're signed up for trooping at the booth, and you wear that helmet, you won't get credit for the
Right.
Okay.
But if you're just walking around having fun at the con, feel free.
Change helmets out.
Yeah, correct me
Yeah.
if I'm wrong, but
Bring
you
both
have
helmets.
to be in your approved kit anytime to get credit.
Correct.
That is correct.
Yeah.
But then once you do your shift, then feel free to go ahead and change helmets over after you've done your time.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking about keeping the same color scheme anyway with the different helmet, just so I don't have to have 2 sets of armor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
by
sure.
all means.
Definitely don't do any more work than you already have. Just paint it exactly. Yeah, don't do any more work. And I went ahead and sent you guys a link to Hawker's Row. It's a helmet and accessory suppliers on the forum. And I can send that to anybody else. I'll actually send that to the whole group just in case. I'll send it everyone. That way, if you're looking for helmet or accessories or even 3D print files, there's a bunch of stuff on there. Of course, we're all outfitted with, well, not all of us, but most of us are outfitted with Camino Outpost helmets, and we can vouch for them. They're great, and we love them.
Yeah.
But there are other
We just build our own.
options on the forum.
Because we're crazy
Just in
like
case.
that.
Yeah.
And evidently,
And I'm going to welcome Josh into the mix because Josh
Yes.
snuck in on the deal. Thanks for joining us, brother. Appreciate it.
Sure
We're so
thing.
glad you could be here.
Yeah, glad I could jump in with you guys. I don't get to see you guys enough.
Nah. Hopefully we'll change that if they fix this COVID junk.
Yeah.
yeah. The last
sure.
time I saw Josh was at when he was pulling names out of the hat for the merch raffle.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think that might have been the
For the
last time I saw
raffle.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how I get suckered into those things. Donald's like, dude, nobody wants to get on camera with me. Get on camera with me. I'm like, whatever.
Hey, you repped us well, I must say.
Oh, good.
I think I gave you a couple shout outs on that MerchCon virtual deal.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, I actually won the visor and chest light.
Nice.
So I'm waiting for that to come in.
You put it in your swim, Mando?
My Aquamando, yeah. I'm thinking about it.
Mando.
Yeah, to what you were asking before about the helmet painting the same color. So many people have versions 2 and versions 3 of different parts of their kit. So they're just
Oh yeah.
constantly upgrading the same kit. So, you know, there's no need to make extra whole new entire kits if you don't want to. That way you have variation.
In fact, I'm making my own version 2 of my kit because my helmet, the Juggernaut, is so freaking heavy. I can't wear it anymore.
It's like 10 pounds, Dan.
I know.
You gotta compare to see which one's heavier, mine or yours.
I'll trade
everything in your
anybody's
kit is
helmet
heavier.
for my backpack, and then we'll talk about heavy.
Did
I'll
you have a
pass.
question, Chris?
Can I do the male version of the Ring Clan?
I don't see why not.
it
If it's yeah,
Do
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
yeah, absolutely.
If you're doing a custom kit, pick a helmet.
Or
Pretty
you just pick
much.
it? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, as long as it follows the rules, with the the 2/3, you should be
Mhm.
fine.
You just
Okay.
like my helmet, don't you?
No, the dudes don't have the like Wolverine things that stick up. They're
Oh,
just
okay.
flat domes.
Yeah, the female Ren helmet has the little winglets that come around, which is a really nice looking helmet design. I like
It is
that
really
one a
cool.
lot.
Looks like an owl.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
We're having trouble with her visor on hers, like the way it's shaped.
Mhm.
So I kind of just I made my own visor out of what did we end up using? Poster board,
Yeah.
like the clear poster board material.
Okay.
And then I got window tint off of Amazon and stuck that to it. And it works pretty well, but you can kind of see it bubbling up top.
Okay.
Yeah, the only problem with that is if it takes a hit, it's gonna dent in.
Yeah.
To
But
say, I like your
typically that
color.
doesn't happen. It's pretty
Yeah.
rare that
Oh,
you get.
okay,
I like
yeah,
your
yours-
color.
Yeah, that's good. I like that color.
I
I
know
love
that
the fact that Tito is gearing up. That's awesome.
show off.
Well, I actually gotta get to see if this actually looks straight because that was the biggest issue I had last time was my bottom piece.
Oh,
I'm like
Well.
looking myself sort of like in the mirror.
I forget the fact that you're only like 10 minutes from me too.
Exactly.
well then you're only about 10 minutes from me. Hey,
Yeah, you're where at?
I'm in Eagle Lake.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, if the Huns invade us, you can set a fire, and then I'll set a fire, and then Han will see it.
Are you
We
gonna
can start
grace,
sending smoke
The
signals.
beacons are lit.
More than
Gondor
both
calls
sides.
for aid.
Now
are you
all
gonna
of
grace
China
this
knows
with
you're here.
are you, I'm sorry. Are
We
you gonna
just
grace
deep
us with
dive.
a Camino Outpost helmet there, Jeff?
Yeah, well, I was going to do is I was going to pull out. This is my daughter's Camino, and it's a kid's helmet, which gives the visor really a little bit less kind of forgivingness, so to speak, with what you have. But in the Camino, I don't know how you guys can see very well. They
Yeah.
took a welder's mask and they cut the visor to fit
Yes.
the inside of the helmet, and they Chicago screwed it on the inside. So if you need a visor change because it's scratched up or you want to go tinted or whatever, it's a quick change out instead of having to use resin or something in those helmets. And then being she's 11 and a girl, a little bit of pink and
Just a little.
the Clan Ren wings on it. She wanted Clan Ren wings, so it's a paint job on there. And it
That's
was a
his
little bit.
that's his Screech Owl version,
It has
right?
nothing to do with
Right.
anything. I would sport a pink kit
Now,
just
What
because
I
it's a
did-
cool color.
Man, it's pretty awesome. I'll be honest.
I do it.
Well, see,
what I was
Go
gonna say,
ahead.
Jeff, what I did was I just did
Either one.
Velcro.
Velcro. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
That
hot
works
glued
too.
mine. It's so
Yeah, I
bad.
just
I
did
know a
some
lot
hot
of
glue.
people hot glue theirs. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like, no worries. A lot of people do.
My first one was E6000 and
And duct tape.
Oh, that's a mess.
Did
Much
you
duct tape,
did
Dan.
you die from the fumes, Dan?
Probably.
it
I'm
probably
gonna turn
explains
off-
why I am the way I am now.
Turn off my.
Mine is molded pretty
so-
tightly to fit, so
This is-
I barely had to tack it with some hot glue to hold it into place. But we purposely put, if you don't know if you can see this, when it fits in, it goes into a perfect
Yeah.
slot in the front. So there's
Nice.
structure support even between the visor piece.
That's pretty sharp.
Yeah. So that's what we did with our mold is we purposely built it in to be able to house a visor inside of the front.
Yeah, my April Storms is like that too.
So I have two. But it's also a Camino, so it's got the.
And you also did the Chicago screws?
Well, Phil does that, so
Yeah, they come that way.
they come
They
that
come
way.
that way. Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is one that doesn't have them installed right now, but you can see the
Yeah, I can
screws
see the slots for the screws. Yeah.
on the inside. So
Those screw.
There's a couple of companies out there too that made pre-made dark tinted Lexan visors, and you can buy those, and with just a tiny little bit of finagling or trimming, you can make them fit most buckets.
Oh yeah.
So there's some nice ones out there. You just gotta kind of look, and some even go as far as if they know a helmet mold is popular enough on the marketplace, they'll make their visor match that mold. So you can actually find something that's specifically designed to fit right into the mold you've bought.
I need to find me a stalker one.
So does that answer the questions on visors for you guys, or?
I put it on the chat what it is. It's a Hobart Shade 3 welding visor.
Okay.
There you go.
You can get it on Amazon for like anywhere from $8 to $14.
Yep.
I know there's not many options for like colored visors, so I ended up making my own. And then I heard mixed reviews about the Kalevala visors. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but.
So Christina is in Fort Myers. Okay. And Matthew, you're in Fort Myers too. I'm up in Port Charlotte. So you're down in my area. I'll try to add you to my list of people to talk to after this is over. All right.
It's good.
Same with you, Christina.
Welcome, Christina. I know you were looking, and we talked a little bit too.
Yeah, she's playing D&D right now.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to be leaving to go do in about a half hour.
This is an example of a pre-molded one from one of the companies. It's already got pretty good shape built into it, so you just barely got to tweak it a tiny bit, and you can then slide it right into your bucket.
And who made that one?
Now, this is one that was sent to me by accident when I ordered mine.
Oh.
They sent me an extra. This is actually a T-visor for a Phase 1 clone trooper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I need to get one for one of April Storm's drop air ones for the large helm.
Well, like my wife's bucket, I just took really thin, clear Lexan and cut it to the right shape, and then just took a piece of window tint, stuck it to it.
And there's no reason you couldn't do the window tint to a T visor, Emily, if you wanted to. There's no.
I think the hardest thing is making it stick, but I think if I do the Chicago screw method, as opposed to the little tiny rare earth magnets that are up in there.
Oh yeah.
Then it won't slide around.
For sure. Yeah. And I would definitely recommend the Chicago screw method, mostly because if your helmet gets hot, and you don't have enough hot glue or you don't have enough adhesive of any kind, it could actually melt, and then your T visor could pop out. I've actually seen that happen to a scout trooper, biker scout. That happened at a troop. So the Chicago screws, while you don't have to do them, obviously, if you do hot glue, just make sure you use enough of it that it doesn't, it's not going to melt. But
this was like my third attempt at a visor, because I tried hot glue on one with poster board. This, I remember now, is actually one of the welder's shields, but it's clear.
Okay.
So we did do that, and it worked much better.
Yeah.
But this still bubbles a little bit over here. So.
Well, from here, it looks great.
That's good. Just don't get close.
I think it looks great.
Thank you.
It all comes down to, what is it? There's like the 8-foot rule, the 4-foot rule, and the 1-foot rule,
Yeah.
Most people are doing the 8-foot rule because they're going to stand off from you and take a photograph. So it's very rarely are you that concerned about the 1-foot rule,
especially under these unprecedented times.
Yes. Yeah. If you're that close, we got other problems.
There you go.
You have a stick hand. You're very pointy stick.
Oh, that is right. My stick is exactly 6 feet tall. I'll just hold it out and poke people with it. Stay back.
6-foot rifle. That's all you need.
Yeah. Well, I'm only 5 foot, so.
You know somebody with one of those, Josh?
What, a 6-foot rifle?
Yeah, I think yours is what, 7.5?
Yeah, I think my wife's is like 7.5. Mine is a little bit shorter than hers is. Hers is like nasty long rifle. Is there a vendor
and she's all like 5'2".
Okay. So is that Chris?
Is there a vendor where I can buy a rifle
because I've been trying to 3D print it, but they come in like 80 pieces.
Oh geez.
Woodchuck.
A lot of Woodchuck is really great. You can look him up. He's on Facebook.
In
and-
Leesburg.
Yeah,
He's in Leesburg.
he's in Leesburg. There are also a lot of Nerf guns that are able to be customized, and a lot of our folks go the customized route. You just have to make sure that it doesn't appear to be a Nerf anymore by either adding pieces or taking pieces away or sanding down, filling in screw holes, that sort of stuff. So you can definitely look. I believe even on the Jad Halls of Knowledge on the forums, there is an actual tutorial on doing
Nerf modifications.
Nerf modifications.
Yep.
I'll see if I can find it for you, and I'll send it to
Here's
you.
not supposed to be able to fire anymore. That's one of the things too.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I
Here's
think
we
Miguel's got
carry
a
the
Miguel's got a customized one there for you if you want to see it.
And if you need Nerf guns, I know a guy.
What was that, Christopher? What were we gonna say?
Can
Go
we
ahead.
carry E11s?
Yeah.
Because I have an E11.
That's an in-universe weapon. Yeah.
Got an E11D. I carry an E11D, the Death Trooper rifle. So, and
Yeah, I went custom Nerf. I built a couple long rifles. Just put huge long barrels on them. Put custom scopes on them. I even put legs on them. By the time you do all that, you can't tell it's a Nerf anymore.
And
I went
I would test if somebody goes after one of Woodchuck's. I can attest. Miguel can attest. I've got one of his bowcasters. I also have one of his gaffy sticks.
And I'm holding up his West Star 35.
There you go.
It's a nice looking print on that.
It's all wood. He carves them.
Nice. That's even better.
Hey, but just for clarification, these are not. I'm going to tell you that I think the cheapest gun I've ever seen is probably in the $150 range, and that's probably what Dan has in his hand right now.
Right.
Actually, I've got two of them.
You can go to Goodwill and garage sales and buy some Nerf guns for like $3 or $4 and go home and hack them up.
I was gonna say, or arms dealer.
I've tried to do the Nerf gun thing and it just frustrates me. So I end up giving up on it.
There's a lot of modifications.
And I'm like, I'll just 3D print it and then it comes in hundreds of pieces. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just done with this.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of cleanup work, depending on how good your 3D printer is too.
Yeah, mine's not very, it's a lot of sanding and then.
A lot of red fill and Bondo and resanding and.
I'm going through that right now. I went ahead, Emily, and sent you that link for the Nerf conversion. Also, I'm getting a little bit of a feedback. Not sure who's coming through. I can just hear myself through somebody else's speaker.
Is Saul close
Mine,
to you? Is
probably.
he getting it through his earphones?
Possibly. I'll just start muting people. Oh, it's my husband.
There you go. The call is coming from within your home.
He's in my living room. All right, guys. Sorry about that. But no, I went ahead and gave you the Nerf conversion. The Jad Halls of Knowledge is fantastic. Would definitely recommend them.
They got a lot of how-tos, especially with Nerf guns now. Havelock Brett, he did a lot of work there. So from spears to swords to Nerf mods, everything is there. So that's good.
Another thing that I would definitely recommend is if you have a whip that you've already got on the forums, bring up the fact that you're looking at different weapons. I brought it up on my original whip, and some guy, I said I wanted to have a spear with a sword on the end, and a guy was like, I like to design things. I'll draw up like 6 or 7 things, and he posted them to my whip, and that's what my spear is made out of. He just wanted to do it, so he did, which is pretty awesome. And somebody else will probably help you.
You'll also find that a lot of people are here if they have a skill that you don't have. They're more than willing to trade work. So Matthew being a leather worker, if there's not something that's in your realm, then you can trade off leather work for, say, weapon work.
I was hoping you were going to say that. Yeah, I was going to ask
Yeah.
about barter, but you just
We are a big
got
barter
me.
family.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have a quick question since we're there. I made a very quick leather holster or leather pouch. How functional do people? So I'm used to making leather work that has to be spot on functional. You know, the gun leather I've made and the quivers and things. Like you can't mess that up. But with costume, it's like, well, I just rolled this over and I tacked it together with some rivets and it looks the part. So
Yeah,
how
that's
do
about
people
right.
feel about stuff? Like I'm not used to this level of, I don't want to say lack of care because you guys work so hard, but
lack of functionality might be better.
there's a lack of functionality. Like it doesn't have to be, I don't have to make a pouch that lasts 20 years, you know? So
Right.
No. And a lot of stuff is going to get worn down. Like a lot of my kit has to be replaced just because of simple wear and tear.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like the cod piece broke over, last year. I got to put new knees together, stuff like that. It just
what happened to break the cot, dude? What are we talking about here? What happens in these parades?
Parades and everything else, it wears down. And well, by the time I put on 3 or 4 belts over the top of it with buckles, with all that weight, I got an internal harness for my backpack because it's so heavy. So a lot of that rests down on my hips. And then I wear a great big huge leather skirt, whatever. I can't remember the right word for it, but that goes all the way down to my ankles. So by the time I strap that on around it, there's a lot of metal buckles pushing on one spot on it and it's split right there.
Yeah, no joke. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I absolutely love Josh's backpack, and it's a full critter aquarium on his back that's lit up and has alien creatures in it, and it's like the size of most of our kit boxes.
Josh, I might be building a very lovable amphibious character from our favorite TV show, The Mandalorian. So I might need your help on the egg backpack, if you know what I mean. Eventually.
Oh yeah, we can make that happen. and there's ways to make it light. Mine's very heavy, but there's some tricks you can pull.
You were the first person I thought of when I was like, I'm going to have to make that backpack. And I was like, wait a second, I know something. I have a hate relationship with my cod piece. I cut the tip of my thumb off while I was making it. So
yeah,
be careful with razor blades, kids.
Yeah. I've got a couple new backpacks I'm working on now.
When you were making your terrarium for your critters, Josh, did you have to put real rocks in your backpack?
Yeah. And it's real water. That adds a lot of weight.
Yeah.
It's that 1 foot rule.
It's amazing, though. It truly is amazing.
Yeah, I live by the 1 foot rule. But I'm also really, really, really like anal that way with what I build and what I do.
That's like why I used real bones and real teeth in my kit, like animal bones. I have 2 jaw bones and a vertebrae that I made my necklace out of because I was like, I want people to look at that and be like, that's real? Oh my God.
Yeah, the horns I carry. I have a couple of antelope horns now that I carry around.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's fun to have.
It was like me taking clear crystal and heating it up and dyeing it to suck in the red and the blue to make my kyber crystals. So
there you go. Yeah,
you
gotta do it right.
Got to do it right.
Like the lenses on my wife's kit, they're purple acrylic, and then they were custom dyed and tinted.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Let's see. Christina was saying that she was looking to make a Swarzy bow and arrow.
Hey, Dan, are you the moderator?
No, sir. No, ma'am. I'm sorry. I was just reading the question.
It's okay.
I'm trying to help out.
No, I know.
Just
I'm just being silly. But no, yeah, you're absolutely right. Christine, you're looking for one, or you've already got one and you're trying to make it Swarzy?
And she may answer by chatting because she's at her D&D game.
Oh, I see. Let's check.
Watching a young one too.
Oh, even better.
Right.
Let me just go.
I know she's planning on trying to build a Twilight Mando.
Mm-hmm.
I just ordered my Leku because I have no self-control and a stimulus check.
You got a
That's what I'm
stimulus
mad
check?
at that and my tax refund.
What's that like?
We talked to, I chatted with her the other day extensively, and she's like, yeah, I got this idea, and are aliens allowed? And can I do this? And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yes.
Oh yeah, well
yes,
Jose's
yes,
wife
and we'll help
Ginger
you
is
with
a
that.
Twi'lek Mando. She's great.
I'm jealous.
I was
son. I'm
thinking
yet
when
to
it
be
comes to
stimulated.
the bows, you had like the night witches.
Yeah, the Night
Did they
Sisters
have a
have
bow?
their energy bows.
Yeah,
And then Chirrut from Rogue One has
Rogue One.
his energy bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
So there's two Swarzy versions right there for you, Christina.
Yeah,
that you can look
I
into.
was actually looking into building like an energy bow, but like I had no use for it. Basically, just take like a regular like a recurve bow, run some EL wire to make it glow, and it'll look pretty awesome.
That would be cool.
Tito would just add it to his backpack as one more thing to carry.
What's another 12
If
pounds?
anyone plays Fallout, I'm literally the definition of over encumbered.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I thought you were Beetle from Legend of Zelda, the guy with the giant backpack. And he's like,
his
do you
Mando
want a
name is
newt?
His Mando name is Sanford Sun.
My backpack grows every day.
It does.
Never ending.
That's what makes it fun.
Well, yeah, you got to keep adding and changing and moving stuff around and redoing everything. And
Oh yeah.
But for your newer ones, basic first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
Because
to-
after
get to where
you,
you need to be, and then the world opens up to you. And
well, also at that point, it's just making toys because you've already got your kit. You've already got that baseline, and then you can work on just making toys and
having fun,
you
playing
and
around,
having
trying,
fun, yeah.
experimenting.
And that makes it a little less strenuous on you in the long run. Is you can just work on that at your own leisure, but you can also be trooping at the same time. You're not waiting for that approval, so there is a little bit of freedom to doing it that way. Well, there's a lot of freedom to doing it that way, I should say.
Definitely do that because I came from the other side where me and my friends went to the umpteenth level before we tried to join. And then, of course, we got in, but we went like way beyond anything we would have had to do. And we probably would have gotten in 2 years earlier had we not pushed ourselves to those
Yeah.
well, it's like Matthew was saying, he didn't even know Sintra was a thing really, and he's discovered it, and now it's like, something that he thought was like, how in the world am I going to pull this off, became doable like now.
Yeah. That stuff is miracle worker stuff. You can do some crazy cool stuff with that.
And then you start thinking about your other costumes for other fandoms, and you're just like, oh, I could make that out of Sintra, and I can make that out of Sintra, and I can make that.
That's literally what happened. And I've
Yeah.
got friends that want other stuff made. I'm like, that's a jigsaw and a pattern and a little bit of heat, and we're all set.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you can paint it to look metal. You can paint it to look wood.
Well,
anything.
The nice thing with it too is if you ever break a piece and you need to replace, you can build a gauntlet from scratch out of Sintra in an hour and a half and slap some paint on it and at least have something workable.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be the best, but then you can always go back to it and add more details to it or other stuff to it. But you can essentially go from nothing to a finished piece in a couple hours. If you ever had to like replace or fix something.
Which reminds me, I got to replace my gauntlet.
Yeah. I've got
It's still broken, Chris.
Make me some gauntlets and yeah.
Who said make me some gauntlets?
Corey was harassing me.
Oh.
There you go.
Your own gauntlets, Corey. I don't even know you. It's your own.
I got some spare Sintra sitting around if anybody wants it. So
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
I
I
need to
found
go
some.
pick up a few sheets of it.
I found some in our shed. I forgot we had.
I've got
I
mine.
think you're going to be supplying.
free Sintra.
I think you're going to be supplying.
Go ahead, guys. For Josh, Cybe Automation in Ocala, they set up a Mandalorian Mercs account for me, and have basically opened it. They'll ship it anywhere in the United States. And I told Mandalore Uniter about it, the regional commander, the new one that's coming in. I'll let him know about it. And it's for a 24 by 48 sheet. It's like between 18 and $20, depending on what market is.
Right.
But the guys, the owner of the factory says he will cut us a reduced rate if we send it all to, if we start buying enough of it, which we bought $4,000 in the state of Florida last year.
Oh, wow.
For different clans. And
yeah,
then if they send it to, let's say the guys in California need a big shipment, he can send it to one address, give them a percentage off on each sheet, and then the guys out there can hand it out to whoever needs it. So
that's cool.
On top of that, Jeff, I went ahead in the chat and I posted 2 other places that you can get Sintra. There's Home Depot. Some Home Depots carry it. There is actually an item number that I've associated with it in the chat. If you want to, you can ask them for that. And they should be able to.
Yeah, that stuff just doesn't work as well heat-wise as some of the other stuff.
Yeah, we were able to.
Does, but
yeah, but and then there's Farco Plastics. So
with the
I'd
Home
like to try it
Depot.
out, Jeff. I want to see how it compares to the stuff we get through Billy's car supplier. You know, doing all the car stuff.
well, my chest plate, my second chest plate that I made, which is a legacy style female plates with 6 darts. No, sorry, 8 darts. Is made out of the Home Depot Sintra, and I find it to be just as good as the stuff I bought from the plastics company. So
that's cool.
I would recommend it, and it's 6 millimeters, so it's pretty forgiving and thick. So
nice.
Matthew does have another question. I have a materials question about the Mythos Fett-like poncho. So go ahead,
you guys
Matthew.
are familiar with the you're familiar with the Mythos Fett. All right.
Yeah.
So I've got this cosplay material that I used for and obviously you can't tell, you don't have your hands on it. I got it at Joann Fabrics, but it's fairly mesh like. It's, you know, obviously it's way thinner than duck cloth, and I understand the movie quality clause. I mean, I read it, but whether or not I understand it is something else. But I would much rather make a poncho out of this stuff than, because I've got a wool poncho I got in Mexico years ago.
Oh no, don't do wool.
And I am not. Yeah, exactly. I'm not
Yeah,
wearing
no,
it.
trust me.
I don't see there being a problem.
Is that
with
going to be
that.
for a Canon suit?
No.
Then yeah, there shouldn't be an issue with it.
Is it
There's
monk's
no-
cloth?
There isn't an issue with.
I think it's like the
material.
monk's cloth that you use for your Jawa.
You
It
can
looks
use just
thinner
about
than
everything. The only thing they frown upon is stuff with like printed fabric.
Yeah.
Stuff that has print, you know, like vinyl printed stuff. You can't use that. But pretty much there isn't a limit. Yeah, most people say duck cloth is the go-to, but it really isn't. You
No.
just have to you just have to find something that's substantial enough that works and go from there. When I judge an app, I'm just looking, like I said, if it's something that looks like a window shade, like Jeffrey's first one did, then yeah, that's something you get dinged on.
Okay.
But other than that, nah, you're good to go, bro.
Cool.
And the thing is, as long as it looks like it's comes from the Star Wars universe, so you
Right.
can't have real world patterns, and because that looks like a woven linen kind of look, that should totally be passable.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it
body
looks
and
kind of
all that.
like Jedi fabric almost.
Yeah,
from
it's
here.
the loose weave, so that should be pretty good to work with.
Another fabric that I've used in the past for my own costume and Saul's costume is actually just the cheap drop cloth from Harbor Freight. The cloth drop cloth from Harbor Freight. I think you get like 9 by 9 feet for $10. I think it's a ton of fabric. It dyes fairly well. You're gonna want to use a lot of dye if you use it though, because it's always comes out lighter than I want it to be whenever I work
Isn't
with
that
it.
canvas?
It's
actually-
a canvas and
It's a canvas drop cloth. It's actually what I used for my sand person.
It's very
Tuscan.
nice to work with as far as like fabric goes. And it's cheap, but it looks good. I built and I made it a Jedi robe out of it and sent it to the Rebel Legion and was like, would this be approvable? And she's like, where did you get that fabric? And I'm like, it's a drop cloth from Harbor Freight. I think I spent $12 on it. So yeah, check out Harbor Harbor Freight for that cheap fabric. So just
Called getting
Okay,
inventive.
first, I'm back.
Yeah,
What's
it's
up,
the
everybody?
same fabric I used for my Tuscan Raider. I did the same thing, the drop cloth from Harbor Freight.
yeah.
Matthew, you'd definitely be a good person for me to come to if I ever do a Viking cosplay.
Well, years ago, before when I was going to join the Mandalorian Mercs, I had inquired about doing a Viking Mandalorian, and so I made one out of EVA just for fun. And I started working on one recently with some of the leathers, and I'm trying to talk myself out of making my kit out of metal.
There's
And
a
I'm
few people
telling you,
who have it though.
oh my God, it's so hard because I'm like, I don't need a metal kit.
No.
Does
I want
anyone need a metal kit though? But we all want it.
But when the time comes, you'll have a metal kit.
I don't think I would go metal. I would stick with Sentra, automotive, paint it. You know, what you do is you give it a good silver coat, give it an automotive clear coat after that, then paint your color on top of it, and then the natural wear and tear you get when you troop in it, which is going to happen, will eat down to the silver. And because you have a nice automotive clear, it doesn't go past the silver. And now you've got natural metal looking chips everywhere.
My accidental weathering is some of my favorite weathering I have on my kit.
Yeah, the natural wear works.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like with weathering, we could just basically take it and go outside with a chain and just like.
I mean, if you have a good enough base coat, yeah.
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 Take your cape, put it on your driveway, put a couple cinder blocks on it, and drag it back and forth up and down the driveway a few times.
I set mine on fire.
Car,
It
let it
over.
fray the end up.
I set mine on fire, and then I hit it with a chancla a few times.
Take it
Put
to
it
the
out,
gun range.
and
smash it through, parts of your kit. That always works well too.
Yeah.
Not my comma I was gonna use.
I buried it in the dirt.
Everybody's a hardcore Mando until the chunklas get thrown.
That's right.
Very true.
Mine is an incident with chlorine gas I made by accident.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Anytime you're around Tito, you have to ask, when was the last time you got a tetanus shot?
We all know now not to go to Tito's workshop.
Literally, my
Sounds like
dad
it'd
saw
be
me
a fun
running
place
out of the
to go.
garage with a fuming like bucket.
That's okay. We had a buddy of mine light himself on fire in his kit.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Billy did that.
That was the question. Oh.
Hey guys, well, dinner's ready, so I'm gonna take off.
You had a baby?
All right.
But it was good seeing you all.
Good to see you
Yeah,
again.
easy.
This time, next time, let's not go at 6:30. Let's do it a little earlier.
So Christina
Tito's
actually
workshop
said,
sounds like a good place to get fun.
yeah.
I'm gonna kill one of these motherfuckers right now. That's
Christina
racist.
said that she took her knees on the
If it helps,
asphalt
one of them hurt the
outside
most is the gray one.
and
At work.
then
I'm gonna
made repair
text the
marks
green
to
one.
it. So
Bitch ass
that
motherfucker.
actually is pretty cool.
Racism.
That works.
Yeah, my knee snapped, so I put it back together with epoxy and then painted epoxy to make it look like I welded it back together.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You did it
Oh,
to
yeah.
your backplate too, right?
And my back plate, yeah.
I've seen someone do it to a helmet. They completely cracked the bucket in half, put it
Oh,
back
geez.
together, and then made it look like a weld mark.
Mhm.
It worked perfectly. Now it looks like natural wear and tear. Like they took a bad hit at one point.
That hurts my heart.
If you guys want to do like a good like mud thing, what I do is I use like the truck bed lining and just like spray it all over my boots and knees, and it looks like you're literally like chalking through like mud.
That's
without it
true.
happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
That's another
permanent.
good one.
I got a quick question about Plastidip. I notice I never see anything about Plastidip. I hit some of that PVC and then I painted over it. It looked great, and it didn't. I tried scraping it. It seems okay, but no one ever. I've yet to see anything about Plastidip. So tell me.
I just used Plastidip for a prop, and the whole thing
Oh.
peeled to hell.
Yeah. Okay. And that's what I was wondering.
I would not recommend it.
Okay.
Stuff's got to take some wear and tear, especially if you're trooping with it, or you're doing
Yeah.
parades, or it's getting beat up. It's rubbing on your armor all the time. you'd be amazed how much your own plates beat up your own other pieces of gear.
Gotcha. Now, do you use? Sorry.
You,
do you use any of that?
Awesome. Go ahead.
Any of that plastic primer on the Sintra or the PVC? The kind that because that plastic primer, that kind of melts it a little bit, or it does something.
Self-etching primer.
Yeah.
You can either use self-etching primer or just regular primer.
Okay.
Either one will grab onto plastic as long as you sand it, just lightly sand it.
Sure.
Is the main thing. Once you do that, then any primer that you use, either self-etching or plastic primer, regular primer, any of that will work.
Okay.
If you hit it at least with a 1200 and then primer it, you should be good.
Sure.
Yeah, just enough to give it a little something to grab onto.
Yeah, that
Like for
self-leveling
ideas-
primer stuff is amazing. Just like the automotive primers.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool color too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like an idea for like a kit, since we're like in Florida and we have swamps and stuff, would like a swamp dweller kit be good? Like put like netting on it. You know how like old military helmets used to have, like World War II helmets used to have the netting on it. Take something like that and put on it, but make it look like.
You mean like a
kinda
ghillie suit?
No, like the netting stuff. You know how on like
yeah
Vietnam helmets they had the stuff on it, like the netting stuff on the helmets. Take something like that and put it on the like drape it across the armor, but make it look like it's kind of like metal.
Yeah, there's a guy in NAS that has a kit that's like that. And he's got a regular kit underneath, but then he's dressed it all up with that on top of everything. It's a pretty cool looking kit.
Yeah,
I've seen
Florida
them
Mando.
doing
Yeah, my kit is in like aqua colors with a little bit of black and white and such. But all of my soft part, my armor and such, has been made to look like I've been tromping through the swamps that going into the beaches, you know, like South Florida.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Make it
So
look like that, like you
my
just brought
bucket
up
actually
swamp.
has rust marks on it. My armor actually has rust marks on it and rust stains. If you look at my comma, you can see salt stains all through the bottom of it, and even start on the inside where I had a white color for a lining in my comma. It has it almost looks like it's starting to mildew from being, you know, exposed to our weather that we have down here.
Just don't actually let it mildew because we don't want you trooping with us. If that,
Yeah, don't
No,
mildew,
this is
please.
not actually-
That's
this
not
is
good for your
paint.
health.
Yeah,
No,
mine's paint, but that was the look I was looking for.
Yeah,
we have a member that has crocodile scuttles on his kit.
Oh,
Matter of fact,
yeah.
he's waving at us right now.
Yeah.
What's that? It's like, what's that smell, man? Oh, that's my cologne. It's mildew by Florida.
Yeah, and the trick with areas, don't
Ew.
go home from a troop and leave your kit sitting
Gross.
inside your container or box sealed for several months and forget to open it up and air it out.
Spray it with vodka.
You'll
Spray it with
regret
vodka.
that.
Spray it with vodka.
Actually, the best thing is, well, vodka would probably work too, but I find that there's a disinfectant spray that I make for my Jawas, but it would work probably for this as well for soft parts and things. It is 1/2 rubbing alcohol, 1/2 water, and then you can add essential oils to it if you like, but you don't have to. And that is a wonderful, you just spray it on and you let it air dry, and then you're usually really good to go. It disinfects and it deodorizes. It's really nice.
Well, then you
What was that other deodorant, that other spray that you had at one point?
The other spray? Oh, I have boot spray. I keep odor eaters in my kit box, and I spray my boots out after every kit, after every troop.
There was
Fun, I
another
love the
spray. It
vest.
wasn't Febreze, but there was another spray too. I remember us
Vodka
talking
spray
about
works good too. It's a good overnight spray. If you know
Oh,
you're
yeah.
gonna poop a couple days in a row, what
Well,
we do
it's-
is we'll vodka it all, and then we'll put big heavy fans, like ones you use at your desk,
Yeah.
underneath, and
Did
just
you say
air them
vodka?
all out from underneath.
It's essentially the same thing as the rubbing alcohol. It's just gonna take that out. It's gonna disinfect, and it'll get most of that smell out.
And your fellow troopers will really appreciate.
They
that
will
you rub
really
that.
appreciate you.
Wait,
Apparently my
did you
kit
say
smells like
vodka?
rusty coins.
Make sure you do air out the vodka because you don't want to smell like a distillery.
Now I have the image going through my head. Somebody's bucket. They're wearing it, and it has one of those little koozie things on the top. It has a straw going into your mouth. It's like
How do you know I don't walk around with a wet pack and just a straw running around, right? The whole
Why do you
No.
think his backpack is so heavy?
got vodka in it. It's like, hey, you want a drink? Yeah.
It's
What
a
do you
whole
think these
beer
hoses
keg.
are for?
There you go.
That looks
Tito's
like,
got
that
it
looks
set
like
up.
a power armor helmet.
It's literally my party helmet.
There you go. Just you were asking earlier. This is a Nerf rifle. You know about doing this is just a Nerf conversion. So I put a long barrel on it to turn it into an actual sniper rifle. Put a set of legs on it. Put a scope on it, and then I built a whole custom butt with a leather headrest all on it.
No, what did you
That's
use?
all Nerf.
Did you use PVC for the barrel?
Yeah, just a piece of PVC to get along, and then ran a small piece underneath for a little more strength and stability.
And that's all.
Yeah,
That's
that
all from
works.
Nerf parts. Like the base is from the Nerf part, and then you build.
Yeah, the stock here is a piece of Sentra. I took two pieces and glued them together to get it thick, and sanded it and smoothed it out so the legs had something to attach to, and it's the same width. I made custom straps out of Sentra for stability. From here all the way down to the handle here is nothing but a regular Nerf gun. And then I did a custom Sentra base on it, and then took a Nerf gun base from a different one and attached it to the end.
Okay.
We play Frankenstein a lot in the Merc.
Yeah. If you hack 2 or 3 guns together, it will totally take it from easily recognizable to something different.
Now, how? Because when I was in the military, we had a layout, and we had a whole bunch of like gun pieces just sitting around that weren't on the book. So I took a bunch of them. I actually have a bunch of pieces for like an M249. Now, can I use those?
Oh, baby.
I have a buttstock for it. I have a trigger assembly.
I would, hack all that onto a Nerf body. Just as long as your central stock isn't an actual one, because you will get tagged for that.
You will,
Yeah, and don't forget to disengage the the firing mechanism inside.
Yeah, even on the Nerf
gun.
gun, you have to disengage the firing.
Okay.
But yeah, like my wife, I have a real sniper rifle sitting on my wife's rifle.
You know who has a great website on how to build stuff? Happy Trooper. If you're
Oh yeah.
Google Happy Trooper.
I followed his Jawa rifle. I know.
Oh yeah, I built the
Jeff
DLT
did too.
from it.
Yeah. On the same topic of weapons, we had a question in the chat about gun bans at cons, seeing it in various groups, and how has that been? In my personal experience, as long as we have either the orange tip or we go through prop check, we are good. There are specific cons that do require you to have an orange tip and go through prop check. But most of the Florida cons that I have attended, they are okay with you having your weapon as long as you go through prop check.
I just ripped this off of mine. This was around the handle 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. So that's from prop check. That's a ribbon.
It's very obvious, and they tie it to where there would be a trigger. So it's very obvious very quickly that it's not something that's fireable.
Right. And a quick tip on the orange tip on your barrel is you could actually get a piece of PVC pipe that fits snugly into the barrel. Paint that the bright neon orange, and you can stick that in there while you're at the con. But if you want photos or whatever, you could take it out.
And that's one of the things too. Like when we went to Chicago, I made a cap for my weapon because not only do you have to comply with the cons requirements, but you have to abide by local gun laws. Here in Florida, it's considered a pretty gun-friendly state. A lot of cons that we go to, like it says, the tag ribbon is there. When we went to Chicago, it was in the rules of you must have an orange tip on it because their gun laws up there basically say you can't have anything. So you're
not supposed to own firearms within the city limits of Chicago. So that's why.
Right. So a lot of people made the orange tips to add to their guns that were like a quick slip-on PVC piece because they didn't want to have to go through repainting their entire barrel just to travel to out of state and then turn around and come back here and not have a problem. So
does it say I use one of the metal barrels that I have? Can I use like a blank firing adapter and just kind of yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And
that's going to plug the barrel up for one, and two, it'll look almost like a flash compensator for it.
Yeah. And then with the trigger, do I take just the firing mechanism out, or do I have to make it where the trigger can no longer be pressed?
You can take the mechanism has to be out because my trigger's moved. They just
my trigger still moves.
Okay.
That's what I'm working on right now. Actually, I got a little Nerf pistol myself.
Just a
Ever still
piece of
move?
advice: if you do a rifle, make it where your barrel detaches. That's the one stupid mistake I made on mine. It is
Easier
not
to
fun
transport.
moving around with a 5.5, 6 foot rifle that you can't break down into 2, 3 foot pieces.
I made my spear out of a giant wooden dowel because I have chronic pain issues, so I use it to lean on. But I am telling you, transporting a 6 foot pole in your car and trying to carry that and pull a kit box is murder. Don't, make it collapsible if you can.
That's what I'm doing. The new hammer collapsible.
Things you learn later on after
Yes,
the fact.
learn from our mistakes.
Because of that, my Tuscan cycler that I had that I worked with Woodchuck to make breaks down
Like
into
Tito's
3
got it
pieces.
Yeah.
It's my collapsible hammer.
There you go. See.
Dome the head on that, Tito.
I think that's cool.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's a lot easier to work with.
Austin had a question regarding an ammo backpack. What would be the best thing to use? I think you're going to have
That
to
looks nice,
explain
though.
what you mean by ammo backpack.
Like if you were to use like the minigun blaster or whatever,
Mhm.
you have the
What's his name from Rogue One?
Where like the
I have a
battery
suggestion for that one.
What would you use for that?
If you go on eBay and look up drone carrier backpacks,
Oh,
you
yeah, I
have
just
like a
got
great platform for that.
That's what I'm building my medic backpack out of, actually. It's quite nice. It's nice and sturdy.
Yeah, it's sturdy and you can actually store stuff inside of it too.
Got this, and I made it detachable.
See, there you go. That is exactly the way to do it. Just like Saul's was right there.
Yeah.
And it's same thing, a Nerf base with a PVC. If I can get this thing in there.
Oh yeah, because that's the Nerf coupling there on the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Like these just little greebles. Tamper on the back can be detached if I wanted to.
Perfect.
Yeah.
PVC, Sintra, and that was the front end of the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Got that courtesy of Mike G.
Yeah, that's what I did too. The end of mine was the end of the Nerf gun.
Yeah.
I just put it out at the end of the longer piece of pipe. But it works well.
Filling everything in on the side. Had to take off all the foam that he put on there, put Sintra on it.
Now, did y'all use Bondo? Because Nerf is like notorious for the triangles and the stupid little squares that they put on all their guns. Did you guys just use Bondo?
Sanding.
Palm sander. I'm
Yeah.
motorized the crap out of it.
Sander. I did Bondo on this one, which I'm in the process of doing that now.
Okay.
Filling in all the holes. Filling all that in.
Bondo and red fill.
Yep.
Red filler is great for small detail work.
That's
I
what
have mix up batches of Bondo.
Bondo on that one has made it so heavy.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
Bondo
Bondo.
adds like 20 pounds of uselessness.
Yes,
It's just-
it does.
It does.
A lot.
It turns it into concrete.
Very,
Like
very
the
much
weight.
so.
Yeah, I use the little red filler, and I just take like a spatula and just plug the screw holes and just fill them in. And even if it lumps over, it doesn't matter because I'll sand it down flush with what I want to do. So.
Okay.
In regards to unofficial kits, Matthew was asking about making the, I believe it's the Boba Fett that has the gaffy stick, and right when he gets his armor back the first time with the robes and things,
Right.
if he would be able to still hang out with us. Now, if it's a con, absolutely. If it's a convention, absolutely come hang out with us. We'd love it. If it's an official troop, however, like at a hockey game or at a children's hospital, you would have to. Go ahead, Miguel.
I'm gonna chime in on that. If you're building a cannon, are you gonna build the kit exactly as the show?
Yeah, so I guess the question is sometimes the delineation of what an event is isn't quite clear. So, just like a bunch of you guys that are maybe, I mean, I'm 48. I got really weepy when I saw Boba Fett show up.
Oh, we all did. No, don't
Yeah.
worry.
Oh,
We all did.
I'm only 3 years behind you, brother.
Well,
Yeah.
my main question is, if you're making a canon kit based on the show, correct?
Sure.
So if you're making a canon kit based on the show, then yeah, you can actually apply with that kit if it's exactly like the show.
Do I have to shave?
I can tell you about anything else, but here's the thing. Even if we don't have a CRL available right now for all the kits that are in season 2, that doesn't stop you from submitting if you follow, footage or screen caps and you build to that. Well, then you actually are helping the clubs in general because they use that information to build CRLs with.
Okay.
So
what I was saying was just as of right now, I don't believe there is a CRL for that. So if you were to build it right now, you wouldn't be able to troop an official troop. But if you did work on it, it was screen, accurate, and you were to help the club create the CRL for it, then yeah, you could definitely to troop. Now the difference between an official troop and a con, you could just wear your cosplay because it's a con, you can just cosplay with all of us. The official troops are where LFL or specific places have requested us as a group, and you can only troop in your official kits for those instances. So that's what
Thanks.
No problem.
Yeah, like my wife hangs out in her kit. She's not a Mandalorian. She's just a bounty hunter, but she'll hang out with us at all the event, when we get together at cons and stuff. But when we do troop events, she can't come.
I love her kit.
We're hoping to get her official 501st. We're actually trying to use hers to write the CRL.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
really
like saying
cool.
stuff like that. It's not a common thing. If you use screen caps and all that, you can use that to become official. So it doesn't stop you. So if you do it, you can become official, even in the Mercs, 501st, whichever hosts that CRL, you can be approved. You have to be the first one to do it and submit it. And like I said, the app team has a team specifically for canon characters. So it's up to them to actually use the information you give them and judge you based on that, and it'll help you. Trust me, if you do it, then you have an official kit.
And I say power to you, because the reality is, if you're the guy that's setting the bar and helping out, like Miguel is saying, and they do approve you, now you're essentially the milestone and bar for what that kit's going to be within the club. So
you get to be a poster child.
And I was going to say that's a pretty cool honor anyway.
Absolutely.
That's a huge
Y'all, I
honor
gotta
to be
go.
the
I gotta
person.
go talk to my parents. It was nice seeing y'all again and everything. I hope to catch y'all in the next one.
All right. Bye, Austin.
Bye.
Hey, man.
Good night.
Yeah, that kit, I mean, obviously, honestly, relative to some of the builds I've seen you guys make, that is not hard. My wife can sew well. So, we've got the leather covered. I can make stuff out of so I look at that and I'm like, I'll just put some latex on my head and oh my God,
send
like,
you
I want to be that guy, so.
There's an actual Facebook group there's already a Facebook group based on that Boba Fett. So when I get a chance, I'll send that information. I'll message you on Messenger on it.
Go ahead and send it to me, Miguel, and then I'll put it in the chat.
And it also comes down to how far you want to go or what level you want to go, because a lot of times you can do a full kit and get approved in it, and you don't have to have the look with the helmet off.
Right.
Where Bella Clava, that just hides your beard and hides everything so no one knows that's all there. And once your helmet's on, you have the look, and that's what's going to matter. Like my wife's kit, there's times we do complete face paint on her, which takes like 3 hours to paint, and we don't do that every time because it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Now, in reality, I'd love to put her on a plane, fly her to England to a guy that does specialized Star Wars latex work, get a custom mold of her face and get it done. And then she would literally be the ultimate level of what you can be for that character. But that's just, you know, COVID and cost.
Yeah.
Awesome. Though. Thank you.
We're in England.
Where?
Where? Yeah.
I'm not sure. I've talked to the guy a couple times, and he says he does custom work. You probably know his stuff if you saw it.
Chris
Oh, I'm
Stevens.
sure I do, but I was just curious because I have relatives in England. That's why.
Hey, Josh, are you talking about Chris Stevens? I think it's
Yeah, that might be it.
Chris Stevens, because there's another guy that I'm friends with on Facebook that actually has like 15 or 16 of his. He's in Scotland, and he's got like
No,
15,
this guy's
16.
Framdam on Instagram. Yeah,
Chris-
that's him. Yeah.
Chris Stevens is who I'm looking into getting my Frog Lady head
Yeah.
from eventually. He just did the sculpt
Yeah,
and
I
it's
would-
fantastic.
I would love to, because I asked him, I inquired about custom molds, and he says he'll do them. But this was like all right before COVID hit. But I would really seriously love to get a full-blown custom head wrap for my wife there and have him do a full mold of her head and then build the mask out from that.
So you
That's
want
when
to
we
cover
take
your
things
wife's
crazy enough.
face in concrete?
I could always do a plaster of Paris mold and send it out to him.
You could.
There's that.
I've done that. That's kind of, if you're claustrophobic, that's crazy feeling.
Yeah. No, thank you.
You gotta remember to take it off.
I've done special effects and life casting and stuff like that, and it's actually I've had my own done, and
Yeah.
I fell asleep
Yeah.
during the life cast. It's so soothing because they use the alginate and then the warm bandages, and
Yeah.
dude, I was out. I was
We did
snoring.
it in high school. Yeah, and they just keep the two little straws for your nose to keep you. Yeah, I can totally see. Yeah, we were all falling asleep. And then the nice is it starts to warm up on your face as you're laying there.
Yeah, I saw James' life cast. It looked like this. All right, guys, I do have to go. I wish I could stay a little longer, but I can't.
I gotta
All
do
right,
that
Dan.
too. So.
Have
Take
a good
it
one.
easy.
See you, Dan.
Bye, Tito.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks for stopping
Yeah.
by.
See you guys next time around.
See ya.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hopefully all in person before too much longer.
Yeah.
Han, I sent you a text message, and Matthew, I think I sent you a messenger. I'm not sure if you got
Yeah, I'm not sure why you sent it to me as a text message.
because that's how it. I'm on my phone, so that's why. It's
Oh, okay. You're Matthew. I'm gonna go ahead and send. I think he may have already sent this to you, but I'm gonna go ahead and send it to you as well. That's the Facebook group that Miguel was talking about. So.
No, I got it. Thanks.
Oh, okay, cool. I figured.
It's fantastic.
No, you got it.
Cool beans.
Where's Oh, hey, Josh.
Yeah.
I did talk to Q the other day.
Well, then you're pretty fortunate because he's pretty bad about calling people back sometimes.
Jeffrey got me his phone number, so I harassed him. I started text messaging him.
Good. That's the best way to do it. You just got to kind of, keep beelining on him until you get a response.
Oh, we talked for about 30 minutes or so, man. I'm glad
That's
that he's
cool.
doing a lot better.
I got 3 or 4 messages on the forums from him. We've been going back and forth for the last couple of days. I'm happy to see these up moving around because, you guys down there, we see each other at MegaCon or some of the big cons, but the way stuff has been the last year, everybody's busy doing, app team and art team and,
club stuff.
Yeah.
club
It's not like they don't keep me busy, right?
Right.
Definitely.
Well,
Yeah,
and then
Sorry, go ahead.
it's okay. I was just gonna say, and with COVID and everything, it's just easy to really feel like forgotten or just
Yeah.
disconnected is a really good word that I've been using lately. You just feel disconnected from everybody. But that's all I was gonna say.
Oh, yeah. We're fortunate that those of us over here are already been really close friends for many, many years before coming into here. So we kind of keep tabs on each other anyway. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I'll just be happy to have the shirts off my back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely good to talk to him, man. Because like I said, the last time I talked to him was at MegaCon, and so he was dealing with his stuff, and So it was good to hear, and I was glad that everything was good, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
Phil.
Ah, shit. Somebody decided to join us now.
And
Fashionably late.
Christina says we're not socially distant, we're physically distant. There is a difference, and it gives me a better mental state in the whole matter. And
No,
I think
she's absolutely right.
that is dead on. Thank you, Christina.
That right.
That is 100%.
Well, that was one of the reasons when I sent all the emails out to everybody and the messages is that, I got on my personal patch, and I've always heard the Mandalorian's family is more than blood.
Mm-hmm.
And I live that as a Marine. I live it as a firefighter when I go to work. There are certain groups in your life that they're extended surrogate family. And I've always felt that, especially in this area, the Mercs are that level. So family is more than blood has never really just been a saying for me. It's been who we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This club is pretty good about taking care of its members. People take care of each other.
You guys, I'm gonna say one thing. Moving down here from Virginia, 3 years ago, I had friends up there, and I was really close. Moving down here, I basically knew nobody, and and I'm just gonna kind of throw it out there. If it wasn't for Martz, Jeff, talking to me, taking the time to talk to me at a con, just a little hole in the wall con in Ocala, I would completely be absolutely miserable down here. Because if it wasn't for that, because he brought me into this group, and then I talked to Miguel and Han and everybody, and it's given me a reason. It's given me a reason to enjoy being down here, so.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then you've got people like me who's pretty distant from their actual family. And so to like find a family like Aiwha and like the Mercs, it's pretty awesome. So I definitely appreciate all of you guys. And it's been really hard to be away, I'll be honest. Really hard.
Yep.
So
I tend to be a hermit, so I have to admit it. Well, I'm an all-night hermit, so being at home and working from home and being behind a computer at home is kind of almost just feels a little natural to some weird extent.
I miss my 2 hours a week that I would be around my family. That's what I mean.
That's like the meme for Josh. It's the meme of when you find out your lifestyle is called quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you mean I get to stay at home? That's my life goal.
Well, I have some friends, they just laugh at me because they know, like, they're always telling me, yeah, you're the only person I know that if I send a random text to at 2 a.m, I'm going to get a response right back.
That's because you're up working on art for the Mercs.
There you go.
True.
Now, well, talk about stuff. When we're going to start getting that awesome swag?
Well, I know we're planning lots of cool stuff. So
hey.
We got, well, I was just going to say, I've actually, because I got kind of sidetracked with racing shirts, obviously. That was a major undertaking, doing 74 clans.
Ooh.
I had to do like 75 different designs for that. I'm getting that production.
Too.
Thanks. As soon as that's done, I'm actually on the top of my docket is back to Aiwha. I'm going to bring it back around home, get our sigil sheet finished up. I'm going to get our triple patch art ready to go if we want to continue to pursue that. I think we should.
Not to cut you off, but I like to see more of that secondary sigil that you made up with the side view, that one.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see that if we can incorporate that as a second sigil for our clan.
We can.
Red and black, or an orange and black shirt, because that's my favorite. So orange and black vote.
Yeah, I'm all about orange and black too. That's my kit colors, but Aiwha's colors are kind of at least locked in, but we can add in some more and make it a little bit more colorful than where we're at, other than just a black and white skull. So
I really love that sigil you came up with. So I'm pretty sure, once everybody sees it,
yeah,
not everybody has gotten a chance to see it, but I got to see it and I loved it. So I'm hoping that we can actually incorporate that.
Yep.
Because that would be cool.
We definitely have our own complete actual filled out monster that belongs to Aiwha. That is ours.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see that too. One of the things I talked with Han about is maybe because challenge coins are a big rage now too. And from what I understand with the swag stuff, we get 2 items. Generally a year, I think it is, by LFL. I was thinking about starting a competition because we got a ton of talented artists here. Putting out a coin competition and putting a vote to the design of one of the sides of the coin. So yeah, I feel that kind of builds a little bit of ownership among us, and everybody kind of gets to say in how this coin is going to, yeah, I like the coin, and this is the one we vote for, and then the winner can be one side of the coin, and then maybe we dig into that second sigil that Josh has done up, and maybe make that the other side of the coin.
Bro, I am 100% on that. I like I said, I've seen it, so I know what it looks like, and I mean, I actually like it better than our current one, honestly. But that's just me.
Well, that comes down to the quartermaster's call as to whether or not we can do a full upgrade, but
The first one, look, I drew the first one up, and I kind of wish we had more involved. I wish at that time I knew you were dealing with a lot of stuff,
right?
And but
And
most
well,
definitely,
had I known,
I mean, don't get me wrong, I do.
There.
Everybody welcome my twin, not really, my younger sister.
We just
Beck.
look really similar.
Hey, welcome.
Yeah, look at
You
you.
made it.
I exist somewhat.
Explain the rules, moderator.
I was
Explain
going
the
to say the rules are, if you have a question, please put them in the chat. I will then address them to the rest of the group. And if you have any noise, just go ahead and mute yourself. We are recording this for YouTube, so it will be posted later. Then feel free to unmute yourself once you get everything settled. I did have a question from Emily. What is Jay-Z making? Go ahead and fill us in on what you're making, James.
I heard monkey, but
A quacking monkey lizard.
I'm going to town over there, so I was just curious.
Yeah, this monkey lizard.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I've had this thing probably, let's see, my daughter's 5. I've had it for almost 6 years. I got it from a dude, Jarek, the Ian, his name's Ian. His site is Jarek Creations. He doesn't make them anymore. It's his last, that was his last cast before the mold break. So I was like, dude, I'll buy it. I want it. I'll buy it. And so I got in really close contact with him, and he actually built a series of his own monkey lizards off of the original photos, from Return of the Jedi, and the backstage and the making of, with George Lucas holding it and stuff like that. So I thought, well, I've had it for a while, I might as well do something. So I'm actually in process. This is his tail. And I just had my hand stuck down his neck. But
nice.
There he is. And I've got his arms and legs on the floor. So
that's the part we saw roasting over the spit on in
Yeah, I
the
was gonna say,
Mandalorian.
is that the spit you stuck in? He's doing turns.
But yeah, I'm messing around with latex and getting it all over everything. And I'm actually going to have to quit here in a little bit anyway, because it's getting kind of stinky.
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, but that's basically what I'm doing. So my goal is to have him as a pet on my kit. I'm kind of going beast hunter for the brigades, and I'm going to use this guy as my pet, which Hannah and I have actually had a conversation, because her droid happens to like Bithian jazz, and Valkyrie does not. And my monkey lizard actually really digs on the like the Jabba flow from Maz's castle. So he really digs on that type of stuff. So
I dig on that kind of stuff.
yeah, it's cool. But yeah, so that's what I'm building, short story long.
That's cool. Matthew asked, is there a list of group member services on the Aiwha Facebook page? Matthew, can you explain that a little bit so we can better answer your question?
Sure. So Joshua is talking about something, and I have no idea what he's talking about. Banners.
Oh,
like everybody, like there's so many things, but when I go to look, I don't really know who's who and what they do. And
yeah.
It would be nice if there was a list, I guess, like a file or something.
There is a list, but we probably just need to update what roles people have.
Yeah, that's a process.
Is it in? I mean, I was just looking. Is what section is it under, or how do I find it in the Facebook group?
The Facebook group, I'm not sure if it's on the Facebook group, and more than likely it would be on the forums.
Yeah, I can never find anything. I swear, I do my best, and then I rage.
Have a list of members
all the time.
Yeah.
A list of members that do what?
Well, like if you and say I've already forgotten. Was it Jeff that has the Sintra supplier, or
No, we didn't have that. We don't have that, but Jeffrey and Hannah are going to be actually implementing a lot of new stuff. That was, there was a lot of things from the previous staff that, we never got to.
Okay.
But if you just give Jeffrey and Hannah a little bit of time, they're going to get that right. So
we're really passionate about access and ease of access. So even though the forums are,
yeah, and I'm don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not complaining about the work you guys do. I understand it's all
no.
No.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it at all. What we're saying is that ease of access is something that we're going to try and make more available to folks, because we understand that the forums they're a little bit difficult to deal with. So if we can at least get some things put together on the Aiwha Riders portion of the forums, then even if it's just a list of links or a list of names or a list of things, resources.
Well, it's that thing where on the Facebook group, like the builders group, I swear if somebody answers me, check the forums one more time.
I know.
Yeah,
it's not helpful, and I'm sorry about that.
And some of what Miguel was talking to me about was just rambling off, because I'm the art director for the entire club. So we just were kind of bantering back and forth about some logo work that we were doing for Aiwha about a year ago. So we might be getting a new updated logo for Aiwha sometime soon.
Very cool.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I was working on. Matter of fact, Han and I have only been in our roles about a week or so. Han?
Yeah, about a week. But we're doing a lot, so
yeah, and that's one of the things that I actually in the 5 minutes that I actually had at the firehouse the day before yesterday, I actually sat down and I started a list of the official members, their phone number or an email or something for them, their date of their first troop, because I got other ideas that I want to do there, and the total number of troops that they had. And then I was going to move into the foundlings, the new incomers like yourself, and that way I would have a list of unofficial members, so to speak, because one of the things that we can do for an official troop is we can have handlers. And one of the things you're going to learn as a handler, if you come to an official troop with us, you're going to get to see what it takes to put on one of these kits. You're going to see the things that fall off while we're walking around, because you're going
what stuff's hitting the ground.
Yeah.
You're going to see what we break. You're going to get ideas for how you want to do your kit. James, he handled for me, I don't know how many times before he actually trooped an official kit. And you see it from that side. And then I'll have a list of those people too, and we can all, if you got a question, you can call me. Or if I know that, hey, I'm going to be driving through that area and I'm going to be getting lunch down, in your neck of the woods, then I can slide by. Hey man, I'm going to be in your neck of the woods for a little while. Do you need me to bring you something? Is there anything you need? and that way there's an exchange of information going on within the club itself here in the local area. Like Han said, the forums can be a little bit intimidating sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to put everything in the world out on Facebook for the rest of the world to see either. So we can communicate in our own little group here if I can just get a roster together.
Yeah.
So there's ideas and things that we have coming. It may take me a few weeks to get it done, but I will get it done. So,
And I do
I'm
want to just bring up the fact that if you can handle for a troop before you start working on your kit or while you're working on a kit, I would definitely recommend doing that. I know several people here who have done that. James has done that. I think Chrissy, you did that. Saul did that, and my sister Beck has definitely done that. So it does give you an idea of what works, what doesn't work. Learn from our mistakes is all I can say. Ask those questions, help people kit up. See, hey, a zipper, this guy's really struggling with his zipper. Maybe I want to do snaps. Maybe I want to do Velcro. And you'll learn from our mistakes. And, it
Well,
just
thank you
helps
very much for all the volunteer work that you guys do.
Oh.
How that goes, and I appreciate your time so much. Because like we keep saying, some of those forums, some of that stuff's hard to find. And I put in a lot of time there, and I still, I don't have all the answers. So thank you very much for the time you guys have put in. I'm gonna sign off here, and I'll be in touch soon. Thankful. I'm very thankful for this because this is a blast. Especially during the COVID, like this has given me something else to think about. And I've got some coworkers that are interested.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Well, I'd say too, you're welcome. You're like I said, you're coming into this. We're here to help you. Shoot me a phone number, and I'll add you to the list of our contacts, and that way everybody's going to get this information. So it won't be, hey, who's over here? Who do I need to call? Type stuff. You'll have a list.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, guys. I'm gonna take off. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for coming in,
Yeah,
Matthew.
nice
Always
meeting you.
appreciate seeing you.
All right, bye-bye.
Phil's sound is not working too.
I saw that. It's okay,
love
Phil.
you
You're
anyway,
here
Phil.
in spirit. I did just send out a message to the the chat in the side. If you are OM, please leave your OM number in the chat. That way you can receive troop credit for this armor party. I am going to be reporting it. So if you are, just go ahead and post that in the chat. I'll make note of it. And for the people who already left, I'll grab them. When I'm editing this, I'll just make note of who that was. Oh, and Jeff, please check the chat because looks like Emily and Chris posted their phone numbers. So
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. I will
Just
check
as long
that.
as you saw that.
Cool. I like it. I'm good with it.
Yay.
Oh,
Yeah, any handle that we can do so we can learn from you guys would be great. Because
Sorry,
when
Josh.
we went out for Halloween, we had no handler, and it was insane to watch.
It is. It's so hard. I won't do it anymore. Well, I'm partially deaf, so to walk around by myself in my kit is actually dangerous. So yeah, I won't do it anymore.
Yeah, like I was telling her, I was like, there's no way I could do this for long periods of time. I was wearing the executioner helmet, and I have a really terrible field of view anyway in that
Yeah.
thing. The only thing I can look down out of is my nose hole.
Oh no.
It's
Oh, no.
I get this and then the nose, and that's it.
I was basically handling you.
Yeah, she was handling me in
Yeah.
kits.
I will be honest, I've since joining the Mercs, I have become extremely spoiled when it comes to cosplay. I cosplay anything else and I'm like, crap, I don't have a handler. Like, this is annoying, or I don't have a changing room. That sounds so so silly, but
Just a quick update, Jeff. There's no limit on what we can do each year in merch.
Yeah.
So by all means, you guys want to do a shirt, you guys want to do a patch, you guys want to do a coin, you guys want to do a pin, you guys want to do a sticker.
Yeah.
we
Yeah, I
can go
figured,
at
like I
it.
said, the patch designs that I know that you were working on were awesome, and I like that. But I'm thinking, if the two biggest things, because I'm in Legion patch and coin trading groups on Facebook,
Right.
and those guys with the coins they're ruthless. I mean, if you make a really nice coin, they want it, they'll buy it, and I've checked, the cost on them is really minimal for what we can get in return, and then add those funds to our coffer, which will help make the patch,
Oh, yeah.
make the shirts, make that stuff. So
That would not be a bad idea, just because the patch for us may be a little bit more than for most, because we're talking about doing it as a triple patch. So it's not
Right.
just a run of the mill single piece patch. You know, it's
I wasn't a fan of that triple patch. I mean, I think it's a little bit. I like the design. I just thought it was a little over ambitious on it.
It's doable.
It's that's just me.
Well, like I said, it's one of those things. I think that right out of the gate with a design contest, which kind of gives the clan the ability to draw together and choose something as a family that represents us, and the return that we can get on that financially to help us do the other things, I think right now is probably the easiest thing to do. And we wouldn't really be able to go with it until after you're done with the shirts, which is probably best anyways, because you got a lot on your plate with that. So
Yeah, we should be getting that all wrapped up here in the next week and a half. All production should be done for racing shirts.
Cool.
I've been burning through them, but at the same time, I'm also trying to update 70 clans logos, because a lot of them have just been antiquated and not really brought up to par over the years.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a full-time gig in itself.
Yeah, it's kind of like a full-time job, but I love it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So.
But I think the patch is doable if you guys like it and we can make it happen.
Yeah, I like it. And like I said, it's one of those things that I like to. If we can, I can hook up with you at some point, either online or otherwise, and get the design and we put it out to the guys and just put it to the vote. If it's not something they want to pursue as a group, then I don't want to force it on the group to do it. But if it's something that they want to do and we can pull it off, then by all means. I'm my view of things is, as the Alrad, is I'm here as a servant to you guys.
Well, and always keep in mind too with stuff like that, because this is where a lot of our costs could also get offset, because it may be for us just within Aiwha, we may not buy a lot ourselves, but by putting it on the trading post, which is what you would do for most anything like this anyways, it opens up to the entire club. So now the entire club can jump in and buy a copy of our patch, which will then also help us to be able to get those sales, at least to the point where, it's an affordable patch now for everybody to get their hands on.
Yeah. And that makes a difference too.
Yeah.
Christina says she loves patches. It's her little way to help out the group without being OM. We appreciate that, Christina.
I don't know why people like patches, because they totally suck. I hate them,
What? Excuse
I'm kidding.
Excuse me.
I've run out of wall space and shirts to put them on.
Bye, James. Have a good night.
I've got bit.
Bye, James.
So I'll see y'all.
Take it easy.
I keep scouring every time we go to like Salvation Army or like Goodwill. I'm constantly scanning for like something denim to put patches on.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Oh yeah, I've got patches coming out of my ears anymore.
Yeah, I got 3 bags in a drawer in there. That's big gallon Ziploc bags full of them.
But it's cool though, they're fun to collect. They're fun little items. So are the coins.
So
you should see
giant. Wait.
We got a new artist on the team too. And man, he is top notch with doing some design work.
That's cool.
He just did a coin for Vet Manda. We haven't posted it yet, but Donald and I are kind of teaching him how to utilize what you can do with a coin. And because he has enough of a graphic arts background, he's jumping on it really fast, and he's coming up with some really nice design work, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Because because there's so much more you can do. You know, a lot of times we think of putting a graphic on something and stamping it, but it's also what you can do with the metal, how you can make the metal part of the design, how you can dress it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I have 3 coin cases full of various clubs coins, fire department coins, military coins. I mean, I got a lot of coins from all over the place. So I really like the coins. They're a little bit easier for me to display, but it's nice to, you know, when we went to Chicago, you can ask Miguel, we went to that Toshi station and I whipped out my bag of coins to trade and my patches, and I was getting Miguel stuff and, you know, yeah, I was getting other guys things because there were patches that I didn't necessarily want anything for trade in, but you know, somebody wants it and one of our guys wants it. Hey, here you go. I got, you know, a big bag of patches. It's nothing for me to give a couple to somebody to trade, especially for a cool patch.
We should explain exactly what we're talking about because there are some OM people here who don't understand.
Sorry, yeah, we kind of
Yeah. So you when you buy merch or you know you get coins and patches and stuff at certain cons, mostly Celebration, they have a room and a specific night where you go in and you just basically Pokemon trading card your way through that whole room, and you just you got your bins, you got your folders, you got you know your backpacks, whatever, and you trade with people from all around the world. Literally, we walked past we walked past the Skull Garrison desk, and Saul, you know, he sees them and he starts speaking Spanish to them, and they're like, "Oh, you're from Mexico," and he's like, "Oh, you're from Mexico." They just were giving us stuff. They're cool. They're cool folks. So like you just meet people from all over the world, and it's just a really cool, fun night, and you get to get some cool stuff.
It is a way to
And
get
trade.
some cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
I think who was it when we were at the airport? Rick and James Barber. They got stopped by TSA because their suitcases
Too much metal.
had no lie 3,000 coins.
They are coin fanatics, especially Rick.
Yes, they had 2 suitcases and 3,000 coins, and TSA said, "No, let's go over here." And they had to. I think they were like 30 minutes. They were all to the plane.
Just to prove they weren't trafficking money with weird coins, right? Like you're traveling with $30,000 worth of coins.
Yeah, that's why I like patches. You don't get stopped by TSA.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but then you don't get the good stories.
I don't get the good stories. Oh well.
We do. We kind of get good stories. For those that don't know, we had the Celebration Chicago in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
It was 4 or 5 days of nothing but Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars with cool panels. The first night is the 501st Mercs Rebel Legion joint bash party at the Museum of History. And we went in there and live music, open bar,
awesome.
Thousands of fans from all over the world. We've gathered as a group of Aiwha Riders and Florida folk in one corner, right across from the open bar, right across from the stage. We're partying it up. We're having a good time. And lo and behold, come walking through the crowd are these looking dudes in 3-piece suits carrying Mando helmets. And we're like, "You guys are Mandos?" We're like, "Yes, we're Red Fist Clan from Russia." And we started speaking broken Russian, broken English, and broken God knows what. And the next thing you know, Red Fist Clan Russia patches and Aiwha Rider patches are flying out shading, and we're having a good time. And we can't understand each other half of it, but we have a common love, and it was one of the coolest nights that I've ever had. So
it's in my I don't even know half of the pictures that we took.
All I know is that I kept getting videos from Tito of him being like your chaperone all night because you guys were dancing, and he was just like making sure you guys weren't falling over. And he's like, "I just went into oh god, the person who looks after you when you're in college."
chaperone.
No.
Designated driver.
Dorm DA,
Yeah.
the dorm resident.
The RA. He's like, I went into RA mode and just made sure nobody like fell down the stairs. Or
No,
got...
let's fix that story. Tito was feeding us the whole night. I'm just gonna put that out
there. It's true. It's true. I'll second that. But it was, I mean, those are the kinds of things that are in addition to going on troops and doing the good charity work and stuff that the club does. Those are the times where you go, this is for us and it's ours. And we go as a group and we hang out as a group and we have an absolute blast as a group. And it just, the stories, you know, you learn everybody's cool little funny quirks, and, you know, you kind of, you know, you laugh and they make fun of you or whatever, you know, as teasingly, it's like my mustache, which I'm going out right now. I was Hodor in Chicago. So, and then one of our girls, Charlene, had her hoodie she forgot in our room, and now there's a picture of Hodor's, and it's just my mustache in her hood. You know, she's like, "That's my collector hood. What's going on?" She ran right over and got her hoodie. But
we look at
over because we gave it to the maid to take a photo with it.
we take celebration as sort of like just kind of a reward for all the hard work we do when we go out and troop, and that's just our time to talk to other people who have similar experiences, because it can get kind of you know, like a job sometimes when you're trooping these things. It's still fun, but you're working hard and, you know, you're representing our clan, and so when you get to let loose a little bit, it's a lot of fun. So
well, I'm gonna put this up here if it'll take real fast. I don't know, where's my camera here? That's the club. That's the club in Chicago with the group picture.
That was the group picture that they took during the panel that I couldn't go to because I was in the panel.
And that's pretty cool when you have that many Mandalorians and you have that pride of building your stuff.
Oh yeah.
Go up with the group like that, and it's just the ideas flow aplenty for, okay, what can I do new? What can I join? You know, with my stuff. You know, what are some of the takeaways from it? And like I said, those people in that picture are from all over the world. So.
And I learned a lot from those guys and women, the guys and girls that were there. Then, I mean, you got to see so many different things, and even with cons, you know, disregard celebration, but just going to cons and just trooping and being around everybody, you learn so much, and you pick up things that you like, don't like, you know. And then when you start kidding, you get that first. You know, you get the butterflies and, you know, but then that all goes away the moment you put your helmet on. It's like your whole persona changes from who you are in real life to who you become once the helmet goes on.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you, I've trooped with pretty much everybody in here, and pretty much everybody will tell you the same thing. It's a great experience. And it's even better once you cross that finish line and you become official, because it's a lot of hard work. It's not stuff that you can just say, let me buy this off the counter and you know, this is it, this is my kid. No, it don't work that way. So you put a lot of skin into the game, and once you get official, it's a whole different feeling. And I mean, I wish I could really explain it, but yeah, I guess when you get there, you'll know what I mean. And the next time you see me after you become official, you'll be like, you know what? I remember what you were saying, and you're right. It's just, it's totally different.
Well, you're wearing your pride because you're wearing something that you made. And so people are like, oh, wow, I really like your armor. You can literally go, thank you, I made it. You know, and there's that little extra little excitement every time you can say that, because most of the time people are like, you made it, what? And then you can explain to them and share your story about how you made it and your journey and everything like that. But not only that, you just look and feel cool, which, I mean, isn't that the end goal?
Version of it, huh?
It's cool when the kids run up and want to take pictures with you.
Oh
That's
my gosh.
really satisfying, and they're so happy to see you. And then you get the occasional HS factor. Someone walks by and
I just have to put it out there, and I'm sure Chrissy has had a similar experience, but for girls, when you see that little girl who's like looking at all of the guys in their kits, they're just looking at all of these men, and then they see you and they're like, a girl is a Mando. And just that look in their face, and it just, oh my God, it just does something to you. I can't explain it, but it's like, yes, we belong here too. And it's just the coolest thing. I can't, goosebumps. It's so good. It's worth everything.
Great feeling.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah, well, even for me, I like to take pride in, you get the kid that is not necessarily very open. They can't see your eyes. They get a little bit standoffish, but to be able to get down on their level and have them walk up and just give you the fist bump, and then they run off and they have a smile.
Yeah.
That's a cool feeling.
Or if you're Miguel, you just scare them and they run away.
That's me. I scare everybody. Hey, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest. There's some kids that are jerks.
They are.
And I remember I was at an event and this kid just came up and tried to flinch at me while he was grabbing Vader's lightsaber. So he broke the saber. And so he flinches at me and I don't care. So I flinched him back and he got scared and ran off and clotheslined himself on one of those little bar things, those things that they use to
the little
separate
rope off things, like the
oh man.
And I just looked and I just pointed at him and he already knew. He was like, damn, I got caught out there for doing some dumb stuff. I do. Han will tell you she's been beat up.
I have.
We had kids punch us.
I had a kid punch me. I've had a dude rest a dude, because I'm 5 foot, so I'm short, I'm small, and I know I am. This guy thought he was going to be funny, and he set his arm on top of my head and smashed my helmet down into the top of my head. And, just people think they can put their arm around you and just kind of like, hey, and because you're small. And again, that's when I learned never to troop without a handler. You just don't, it's no, people don't know personal space. We're not saying this to scare you, by the way. It will happen.
It's one of those things it's why we have handlers and why handlers are important.
Exactly.
In Han's situation, I know we jumped on that guy pretty quickly, got handled, but
oh yeah.
It's not without risk sometimes. Sometimes it's because you can't see and you trip over the curb. Other times it's, somebody hasn't disciplined.
Sometimes it's drunk guys at a hockey game.
Right.
Fortunately, it's not that often, and especially if you got a handler. And handlers do such an amazing job. I don't think we give them anywhere near the credit they deserve sometimes.
So much.
We could not do what we do if it was not for them and the way they take care of us. Because like when we do parades and it's hot, or they're picking up our pieces, or they're making sure we're being fed and we got cold water to drink and we're okay. And they just even the little things like, here, let me hold your bucket for you so you can breathe for 2 seconds and take a drink of water. It just little things like that goes so far, and then they protect your space around you really well.
Yeah, that's
good
the
handlers.
best.
Really just keep an eye on you 360 because you can't. And it's not necessarily a bad person that's going to do something. It's just kids are running. They're going to bump into you. Or if you're in a con, you go to MegaCon, it's crowded, you're packed. You're going to bump into people, and your armor hurts people.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tito has stabbed me in the neck with his.
Right. So good handlers just, man, they make life so nice when you're doing.
They're worth their weight in gold for sure. And we've been fortunate. We have good handlers.
We really do.
In Aiwha's area. So
I missed something earlier. Christina said that she wants her daughter at Parent Teacher Day or Parent Career Day, to say that she's a bounty hunter. So I think that goes along with what Chrissy and I were talking about. Little girls can look up to some bounty hunters too. So
my daughter's my youngest one has a kit.
Well, yeah, Jeff's daughter has a kit too. It's pretty awesome. I've seen it.
Yeah, I got
we all know Joe. Look at Joe's daughter in that tiny little perfectly matching kit with dad.
Yeah. the tall and the short of it.
Oh man, I love her running around in that little pink kitten that matches Dad. She's so tiny. That thing. The helmet's almost as big as she is.
Well, yeah, it was funny because that was when I came home with my first bucket in 2017, and I came in and Lily was, I don't know, 6, 7 years old maybe, and if I showed her my bucket, I said, "This is what I'm doing. I'm building a Mandalorian, like Boba Fett." She goes, "I know what a Mandalorian is, Dad." And I said, "Okay, good, I raised you right." I said, "I'm going to build a Mandalorian," and she goes, "Well, there's only one problem." And she's standing there, sassy 7-year-old with her hands on it. "Where's my bucket?"
There you go.
That's right. Those are the right questions to ask.
So she promptly got one for her birthday shortly thereafter.
I say, congratulations, sir. You have raised her right.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's right.
Yeah, but she went through. She's just a update for those that know her and love her. She went through scoliosis surgery in December, right before Christmas. I went over today and saw her. She is up. She's walking. She's not running, but she's up. She's walking. She's off of pain medication. She's coherent.
Oh, good.
She goes back to school Monday. So.
Oh, I'm sure she's happy about that.
Oh yeah, she's thrilled. So yeah, and so next weekend they have the Saber meetup at Galaxy's Edge at 7 p.m. We're going to go people watch all day because she can't ride anything.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to Oga's Cantina for breakfast. And then we're going to go to lightsabers. I've never been able to go to one because of work. And so that's going to be our first daddy-daughter day out since getting her home from the hospital. But she's mad because she's like, "I don't know if my Mando armor fits, Daddy. We might have to get some redo." So that'll be. I told her, "Sandpaper, honey, you're 11 now, for crying out loud. You can sand your own kit."
You can sand your own kit.
That time you got to break them in young.
Sand on, sand off. Get it done.
Well, that way, I grew up in a house where my mom was always like, when we get mad and be like, "Oh, you're gonna make us wash the dishes," she'd be like, "Well, I had kids so I could have slaves. Go do the dishes. I told you to do it anyway." See, now you can flip that around and be like, "Look, I had kids to help me build gear. Get out there and finish Dad's helmet. Let's go."
Yeah, I'm down with that for sure. Her grandmother gave her a sewing machine for Christmas, so.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's a nice one too. It's like that one that Charlene has that does all the back stitching and buttonholing and everything. So
I'm jealous.
I'm gonna have her make soft parts now. I'm gonna put a little butt on armor vests.
Well, she's got a good teacher. I know your mom is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up around 9 o'clock, guys. So we've got about 15 more minutes, 10 more minutes actually. But I did just want to reiterate, if you haven't put your OM, your forum name and your OM number in the chat, please go right ahead. The chat here. And yeah, sorry, Joshua. But yeah, just go ahead and shoot that to me, and then I'll make sure that you get credit for the troop. And for everyone else who's come by today, I'm really glad you could stop by for, even if it's a short amount of time. We're just really glad you could be here. Even if you were only participating in the chat or listening, we just really appreciate you guys.
Oh, I accidentally sent that. Here, let me change it to everybody. I'm giving Miguel my number. I was like, what do I care?
Miguel's like, huh? What? I don't need that.
My number's probably wrong, so don't hold it against me.
I won't. As long as the forum name is right, you should be okay.
I'll
double check for you.
Find on there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's for sure on stuff. So again, I know we're getting ready to close. If you come in afterwards and you're listening to this on the YouTube channel, send either myself or Han a message or a text of your name, a phone number, some way that we can get in touch with you, regardless of your OM or UM status with us as a member, because that way I can get the flow of information going. And that's going to be a big thing this coming year is, it's not that it hasn't been done before, because it has, but I'm going to be more frequent with information and events that we do have coming, if you feel safe. And the guidelines are still, we have trooping guidelines where, you can't have more than a certain amount of Mandalorians at one place. You have to wear the mask. You have to social distance. Sci-Fi Barto is coming up in February. That's the next really big thing I know that's on the agenda. So,
And it has the added benefit of being outdoors too. So some
Yeah.
of our OM might feel safer participating in that since it's outdoors, plus the mask.
yeah. Well, it
So
helps with the bucket too. You got that nice shield on top of everything else. So
yeah, yeah.
that's a plus if you're kitted up. You kind of double protect it. But I'm gonna try to make it down there pending work schedule. I may or may not make it. I don't know. So I'll find out
What day
probably
is that?
It's the 20th of February.
February. Yeah, it's should be a Saturday.
Yeah.
I think I'm off, but I'm not 100% sure, and I'll check before I'll probably know next week whether or not I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll make it or not. It just depends on whether or not we got a build day go, and we got some R&D we're trying to get put together for MerchCon.
Right on. Like I said, if I don't make it down there, maybe if I only got a couple hours instead of a full day, maybe I hit you up and come down, and if you guys don't want to check
You're
that
going to MerchCon, right? Because I know Q said he was going.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to get out of that.
For those that don't know,
Corey's dragging us.
for those that don't know, MerchCon is going in October. It's Halloween the week before Halloween, isn't it, Miguel?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Week before Halloween, it's in New Orleans.
Yep.
We're gonna be going. We will have a contingency going to that. Myself and
Bounty on the bayou.
Yeah, we'll be down there hanging out. You and I'll buy a couple ice cold frosty ones, and we'll talk con stuff.
Q and I are bringing the party.
I believe that. It'll
And
be
trust
good.
me, come to Dragon Con with us, and you'll see that.
I haven't been to one yet, so maybe I need to
told
make
him
that.
we were gonna hit one up. Q, that was the first thing Q said. "Hey, bro, when are you gonna come and hang with us at Dragon Con?" And I just started laughing. I said, "I'm gonna get there, man. I probably have to do Celebration, because I think Celebration and Dragon Con is around the same time." So
yeah.
Well, Celebration isn't this year. It's what, next year, right?
Yeah, 2022.
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, MegaCon Orlando has been moved to like a couple weeks before Dragon Con.
Well, I'm not worried about MegaCon. Just all the stuff.
Yeah.
And I think after, you got August, and then September, October is MerchCon. So they were flying out for that.
We're long hauling it. We're driving out.
Yeah, that's.
But that's also because we're bringing a bunch of supplies for the con. That's why we're long hauling it.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap early. But if you have joined us on the YouTube channel, thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us. I hope you got some answers to any questions you had. If you didn't hear your question being answered during this, please feel free to reach out to myself, Hanu Yoa, or Jeff Martz, and we will be happy to get with you. So thank you once again, everyone who's here right now, for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and end this broadcast, but feel free to reach out to us on Facebook or the forums. We'd love to hear from you. Good night, guys.
See ya.
All right. See ya.
Thanks everybody for showing up.